episode 3. One less than two, one less than four. Or no, one more than two, one less than four with Frosty.
Sup?
Sup, guys? Thank you for having me on here. I've been wanting to do something like this with you for such a long time. Just because like me and you, basically our whole like friendship just revolves around us like arguing on Twitter
Yeah.
about kind of stupid shit. So like
Yeah.
it only makes sense that we should have like a podcast. We should be on a podcast together, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, you were gonna be my first guest, and then I decided to push it all the way back until when TwitchCon was. So you were at TwitchCon, and then second episode, you were in Chicago. So
Yeah.
third time's the
Yeah.
charm. Episode three.
We've
Yeah,
we've
we
been
out
talking
here.
like about this for a while now. So, dude, I forgot that I forgot today was Friday. So like I didn't even know we had this today because I
Mhm.
lose track of what day it is and shit like that.
Damn.
And like, because I had like plans that I moved like so I could do this because I really wanted to do this.
Right.
And then this morning I made plans for tonight that I had to cancel because I completely forgot it was Friday
God
night.
damn.
So yeah, but hey, I'm glad I'm here though.
Oh shit.
Mm.
Okay. So let's get right into it. First
Okay.
things first, we're gonna start with this community idea that I have. So, do you know that Waddles tweet about how like the communities become somewhat like fragmented? Are
Yeah,
you aware of that
yeah,
tweet? So,
yeah. Well, I'm pretty aware of that.
all right. So, for anyone that doesn't know, Waddles sent out a tweet. It's Waddles sent out a tweet saying like the entire mob community as a whole has become somewhat fragmented over time,
Hmm.
with people like creating their own little groups, which is fine because people like click with other people easier and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of subgroups in the community, which can be fine as long as like subgroups talk with each other. But that doesn't seem to be the case really, because some subgroups hate other subgroups. So
Hmm.
because of that, it's causing this whole fragmented thing.
No, yeah. I mean, what he said in that tweet was pretty true, you know.
Mhm.
And I guess like part of that is kind of our fault because we have been away for like we're not as present as we were like on Twitch and stuff like that. But like that's gonna change really soon. So I think like that's a big piece of like why that's happening. Just because like people don't have like a central thing to
Like bring them
rally
together.
around. Yeah, to bring them together. So yeah, what's this community day idea though?
Yeah, this community idea is
Mm.
like basically like my idea. So it's basically all the mob guys or whoever's present at the house at the time. So if when you go on
Mhm.
vacation, whatever, the other three
Yeah.
do it. Um, choose a day of the week, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a weekend day where a lot of people can join in. And you play a game where a lot of viewers can also play. Like, marbles on stream. I don't know what the cap is
Mhm.
for that. Let's say it's like a thousand people.
Does it have a cap?
I don't know if it has a cap,
I don't think it does.
but like, a game where a lot of people can play. And like you guys
Mhm.
host that, like to where as many people as you want, like you advertise it on all your Twitter accounts. Like let's say you each have your own game going on, like tournament style. You can do a ton
Mhm.
of options like that. And you use
Yeah.
the mob Discord to like bring everyone together. So all you guys are in the Discord talking with one another, talking with everyone that's playing with you. Obviously the Discord would need a revamp in terms of like modding and everything because you're gonna be streaming
Yeah,
this if you're
that
gonna stream. Yeah,
that
it would
that
be
needs a
very
big
chaotic.
revamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be like a
Nah, but
big thing.
like that's actually a really good idea. We've talked about like because that's initially when we first started. Like that's how it was. Like everything we kind of did was community related. Like we play Scribble and all these other like games and stuff together, like with people that were watching and stuff like that. But now it's like we've gotten so busy, and there's also like a lot more people in the community now, so it's really hard to bring all those like new people and all the
Right.
like OG people like together to do that. And there's also a lot of people that will try to ruin that. Like
Right, right.
I tried to set up Scribble a couple months ago. Like the last time I played Scribble, because I was thinking exactly what you were saying, that like I want to do something with the community.
Hmm.
And first thing that happens is someone just comes in there and writes out the N word, and it's like,
Right. Yeah.
well, what can I do to stop that besides completely just not doing stuff like this anymore?
Right.
So,
So,
but there's ways
obviously,
to work around that. Yeah.
yeah, like obviously with this idea, there'd be like a need to be like a heavy presence of modding, like everywhere that you're
Hmm.
involved. So, like if you're using Discord, you need a lot of mods in there that can
Yeah.
just instantly mute or ban or kick people.
Hmm.
And there can be modding in place, I think, for marbles on stream. So, like it would
Yeah.
be a large revamp. Obviously, it would be like a pretty big project to set up because this is like a really big idea that, like, to bring all these like fragmented parts together is a big like problem. It's a big
Yeah,
solution. So it's gonna
yeah.
take like a lot of change to accomplish, I think.
No, I know, but like we will do that though,
Hmm.
because that like it's actually a really good idea, and it's fun to do too.
Right.
Like playing like when we do stuff, the four of us, yeah, it's really fun and stuff like that. But then like when you bring in people from the community and stuff, it just adds to that. At least that's how I see it. I don't know. Do you have like do you have any specific ideas of what we should do?
Like game
I think like
wise,
yeah, like game wise
I
or just like
I'm thinking like games where you can get at least like a couple hundred people. Like obviously there's very few games. I think someone mentioned Jackbox because I've run this by a few people like getting like their
mhm.
ideas. And I think someone said Jackbox you can get a lot of people in. And I saw XQC
Yeah,
playing that.
yeah,
So
we I think we played Jackbox a while ago, but I
mhm,
don't think it was like a community thing because we didn't know how to set that up and stuff
mhm.
like that. So we just gotta look into more of that.
Yeah, so I would say like I'll top of my head right away. It's like Jackbox and Marbles on Stream. Because like, what's easier than just pressing like just typing exclamation point play in a
Yeah,
chat? Like
yeah,
that's
that's
really
true.
easy and
That's
like
true.
it's so easy to follow as well. You don't have to answer questions or
Hmm.
anything. So I feel like
No,
it's just like
but
a super simple.
I was thinking of more stuff where it's like, yeah, like marbles is fun and stuff, and it gets everyone involved. But I want
Mhm.
like people to like really get involved. Like I want to play games where there's like 10 of us plus like just playing the same game or whatever, just having fun, and then like switching out
Oh, okay.
people and things like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the marbles thing, and Classy does that a lot. Like Classify plays marbles with his stream a lot.
Right, I've seen
I
that.
gotta start
Yeah.
doing it too because it's fun. It's fun to watch and it's fun to be a part of.
Someone
But yeah,
said pro clubs on FIFA. That would be something for Avalanche and them. Or yeah, you actually play. Yeah, you actually play
actually,
FIFA
yeah.
too.
No, like we could
Mhm.
do that. Pro clubs, like a bunch of people. Because do you know like the way pro clubs
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
Yeah. So like we could just get a bunch of people, do that. I've been playing a lot more FIFA recently. Like when I went back home for the last 10 days, like
Hmm.
all me and my brothers did was just play FIFA.
Did
Like
they
I'm
help you
actually
get?
really good now.
Okay, I was gonna say, did they
Yeah, it's
help you
like
get better?
I'm actually a really good player now.
All
Like
right, real
so
shit.
yeah.
You went to FIFA training camp and
Bro,
came
I
back.
did. Nah, that shit was so much fun.
All right. Like, so looking at your background, if everyone saw the video, Frosty got pranked where Classify spent 15 hours post-it noting up
Yep.
his everything, everything in his room basically.
Yeah.
Um, so
It's
can you give us any intel or like any ideas that you're scheming up right now for anyone involved? Are you going like immediate
um
revenge? Are you doing like a lateral thing where you're just gonna get your next door neighbor? It's like,
I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity, like when he's not home for a good while, for like a
uh,
couple days, so that I actually have time to like set something elaborate up instead of just doing do something like what he did to me.
mhm, yeah, yeah.
But
So,
but
so
I don't want to talk exactly
I get
what
you.
because then that'll kind of ruin it.
Right.
But I'm just waiting. I'm just biding my time right
Here's a
now.
an idea. So I read this thing a while back about like mental warfare and basically like if you guys have furniture throughout the house, if you move everything like a couple inches, no
I've
one
heard about
notices
that.
that and you'll run into everything like everything.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
So if you were to go in his room and move all the furniture a couple inches, he would nonstop just run into stuff without noticing.
Bro, that's some serial killer type shit. Like I don't even know how I'd record that. Like how would I get his reaction for that?
Like just
That's
record,
just like fucking him up,
just like record him bumping into stuff throughout like the course of a week,
bro.
and him
Just
just.
dude, I mean, we don't even have that much furniture to move anyways,
You're
so
right. You're right. Did
I
you guys
could
get?
do that.
Did y'all get chairs yet? I got
We
chairs.
we've been had chairs.
I mean, y'all got those like lawn chairs, but y'all got chairs. Like I saw you were tweeting
What?
at Lovesack.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I want one because
Hmm.
I'm thinking the main reason I haven't put up like my bed and like my bed frame and all
Hmm.
that is because I'm kind of waiting because I'm not like happy with how I have my room set up right
Okay.
now, and I don't want to like build the bed frame and then have to move it. So, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put like my bed next to my setup here. You can't really see it, but it's
Right. Right.
next to me, and then have like a love sack or something back there for someone to just like hang out or whatever. I don't know.
That
But
is a
yeah,
good
now
idea. No, that's a good idea, and that makes sense why you haven't done your bed frame because I've seen like a
yeah,
lot of people mention the bed frame thing to you,
a lot
but
of people.
but that's a good reason. I respect that, and love sacks are pretty cool. So
No, but we no. If you're asking if we have a couch yet, we don't.
okay,
We don't.
understandable.
we we still have the mattress on the ground, so we use that.
Now,
But
do you
dude, the
do you
lawn
just
chairs are pretty
push?
nice. What?
Are they? All
I
right.
mean, they
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're comfy. You
Uh
know,
huh.
we can. They're mobile. We can take them anywhere.
He
Yeah.
should
What were you
still
saying?
classify his bed frame. just just go in there, yoink his bed frame.
I could just do that, or I could just build the one that I already bought.
Nah,
I
bro,
mean,
just rip it out from under his bed like superhuman strength. Just like
yeah,
yoink.
yeah, because you know I could totally do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And
Oh,
speak. Go ahead.
Jack was at my house. I forgot about that. I wasn't here, and he like saw my room. He texted me a picture of it. He's like, "Bro." Oh, brother, my room's not
Wow.
that bad though.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
looked, especially after Classify messed with it. It looks really good, spot
It
on.
does, bro. It looks so much better like this. Like it actually does. But the problem is, as you can like
Yeah,
see from over there, they don't really last long.
right.
So I gotta
Yeah.
take them down
He
eventually.
should have
But what
just
I was
used super
thinking
glue.
is, no, what I was thinking is like instead of just cleaning it all up at once, I could while I'm streaming, like when someone subs to me, I just take like a post-it note from the wall, write down their name or whatever, and then like make a giant stack of everyone's names that like when they sub to me and stuff like that.
That would
I don't
be
know.
that would yeah, that's definitely like an opportunistic thing to do.
Yeah.
Like
And
one
then like
thousand
when I
percent.
run out, I can do something with like the stack of
Make it
things. I
rain.
don't know.
Just make it rain
Yeah,
on
make,
make it
make
rain
it
on
rain
someone.
subs.
Find someone sleeping, just like pour 100 sticky notes on them. Easy.
Dude,
Um Speaking, so I said like you could go and rip his bed frame off. That brings up
yeah.
superhuman strength. So, do you know something called what is it's a scientific term. I think it's called it's basically like superhuman strength is actually a real thing. Did you know that?
Yeah, yeah, like like when you get like a fat adrenaline rush or something.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've done some like crazy shit or I've been able to like lift or run or whatever for way longer than I thought when I was on like a bunch of adrenaline and shit.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's called
But yeah.
hysterical strength. And
Yeah.
do you know how that
Is
works? Do you know how like hysterical strength works?
is that like when you get angry or whatever, you just
So basically, like in times of crisis, so normal times like right now, your body limits how much energy you can
mm-hmm.
put out, like how much you can lift and
Yeah.
all that stuff, around 80%. Like, so let's
Mm-hmm.
say you can do 100, like your body limits you to 80%. Body lifters and all that stuff, they learn to push themselves and like tap into that, so they can do like 90% of what they can normally do on like when they're
Yeah.
working out. But in times of crisis, like tragedy striking, like your adrenaline's rushing, like you said, um, the body will release those limiters, and you can actually do 100 or more. So there's stories of hysterical strength, and this is like documented. The scientific term is hysterical strength.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this guy, so a car had fell on a boy, and this guy literally picked part of the car up completely, like.
Yeah, I've heard about
And like,
this.
and the
Yeah.
thing is while he was doing it, he didn't feel anything. All he was just doing the task. So
Jesus, dude.
whenever he finished, and the boy was able to get out, like his teeth were completely shattered. He shattered like 10 or 12 of his teeth.
What the
And also
fuck?
he ripped ligaments and tore ligaments all throughout his arms, and also I think broke something in his arm.
Yeah, I was about to say like that's gotta fuck your body up to
So
do that.
so
Like you might
because
not feel it instantly, but
right, so like he said he didn't feel anything until after, and then it was because he was clenching his teeth. That's why his teeth
mm-hmm.
broke. And
Yeah,
like that's why your body places limiters on you, is because you would
yeah.
tear things. And so
Jesus.
like you can get up to like 120, 140% of what you normally can do. So if you can lift 1,000 pounds in terms of hysterical strength, you can do 1,400 pounds like that. So it's actually pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, like, do you ever think about like the human body and its limits? Like, you hear things like that, and then it's like, what if we found a way to just make that like a normal thing?
right.
Like instead of it just being hysterical strength or whatever, that's just like normal
Yeah,
everyday strength.
everyone can do 100% all
Yeah,
times.
like that'd be fucking wild, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
would be
god.
crazy.
Nah, because what do you call it? When we were rolling loud and whatever, and all that shit happened where we thought it was like a mass shooting or whatever, I literally ran for such a long time that by the end of it, I was just shocked. Like I was shocked at how fast and how far I ran. And
Hmm.
then like a couple days later, I tried to run the same distance, and I was literally like gasping for air like 10, 15 seconds in. So,
That's
so yeah,
funny.
I definitely like I've definitely experienced that before. That
Gotcha.
shit's crazy. Human
Um,
bodies.
right. It's pretty insane, but like the human body itself is incredible, but like there's certain parts to us that are just extremely fragile. So like there's a part of your arm that if like nurses know about it, like if you're going through like
Hmm.
doctor's program and everything, like there's a part of your arm that it leads a vein or an artery straight to your heart. And if you were to cut that, no matter who you are, if unless you're like prepared for that part of your body to be cut in that instant, the chance of you dying is extremely high because like
Jesus
you basically
Christ.
cut off blood to your heart. So it's like even though like the human body is insane and like the human mind is also insane, like it doesn't break easily. It's
Yeah.
very resilient to almost everything. It's like there's certain parts of us that just makes us extremely fragile. Just like
I mean, yeah, we have like an appendix in us that the only job it has now is to explode and kill you,
oh
you know?
shit.
So,
Anyone trying to take my appendix from me? Anybody
bro,
want this?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure my shit's burst before, and I'm like the first person to survive their
Oh word.
appendix rupturing. Nah, dude, because there's been some fucked up shit with my like
Artery. Yeah.
stomach and all that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
Damn,
bullshitting,
B.
I guess.
Someone had mentioned one of the topics was invisibility, and we're not gonna get anywhere near invincibility or invisibility anytime soon. But have you seen that new color, black, the new black color? It was a
No.
it was a while ago, but they basically made a new color of black, a new shade of black, and it is literally like you're looking into a void, a black hole. Like if I,
Is
it's
uh,
it's actually pretty insane. Oh, Vanta
isn't it
Black.
like
Yes.
venti? Yeah,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shit like that. Yeah.
Like,
No, I saw. No, that's not new, is it?
is it not a new color? It's a material. Okay, he said it's a
Yeah,
material.
yeah, like because I've read a while ago somewhere they're like where there's a material that's so dark that like it literally doesn't even reflect light.
Right.
Like I don't know, it's weird.
It
It's weird.
absorbs light.
Yeah, it absorbs like
Like a
most
black
of the light.
hole.
Yeah, literally. Mm. But
Like a,
yeah,
speaking of black hole,
that's
that has to do with space. So that leads us into our next topic, which is the flat
yes.
Earth theory. So I
Ooh.
remember a few months ago, you tweeted at me, you're like asking my opinions on the flat Earth theory, and my
Hmm.
response was like, it's absurd, but at the same time, I can see why some people get sucked into it. Like I can see how
Yeah.
you can go down a rabbit hole very easily. Like just seeing one
Hmm.
fact after another
It's
fact after another fact.
yeah, there's a lot of like misinformation about it that you can just like keep reading and not realize you're reading like this doesn't make any sense just because the way they word it and everything like it's meant to trick people, it's meant to
Mm,
like lie to people in a way that doesn't seem like lying. I don't
right.
know, but yeah, like i
How far down that
i
hole did you go whenever you tweeted me that?
I've always known about that, but it's like it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, e- everyone is just so sure that this like it wasn't based on fact or anything. It was just based on like my own opinions and
Hmm.
stuff. But it was like everyone is so sure that the earth is round and this and that. But then there's also so many things out there that we believe as fact that just isn't
Right.
a fact, you know? And it's like, well, what if like 500 years from now they discover, oh wait, they were right all along. I don't know.
Flat
That
is
it,
relative. Flat
yes.
is
No. What? Wait. What?
flat is relative.
Sure.
Flat
I
girls
don't
would
know what that
agree.
means, but I.
Flat girls would
Hey,
agree. Flat is relative.
dude, the anime girls, those are real.
Hey,
That counts.
hey, speaking of that, that's
So.
another topic. Have you seen my video on how anime girls would become reality?
No,
Okay,
I
so
have
I
not.
made a video and basically it's like this. So you know virtual
Mhm.
reality, right?
Yes.
Have you seen The Void? Like Fwiz went to it a long time ago. So basically what that is like virtual reality, but they create a physical environment. So like they take a warehouse and they actually make it mimic the virtual reality world that they make. So like let's say you go into that warehouse, you go into play their game, you put the headset
Hmm.
on, anything you see in the game physically, if you were to touch something, is the same thing. So if you go up to a steering wheel
Really?
in the game, you're actually touching a steering wheel in real life.
In real life,
In real
yeah.
life, it's
So
called
they like mimic all like the physical and stuff like that.
yeah, the
Dude,
actual
what the
physical things.
fuck?
the cosmetics and everything, strictly what you see, that's all of the headset.
Yeah.
But physically, exact same thing down to the centimeter, exact same thing.
So.
And that actually, that's so this actually goes into how anime girls are gonna be real. So think about it. You go in, you go into this game, right? You have the
Yep.
headset on with like you have the
Tell Frost
eyes
to refollow on
and
Twitter.
the no fraud,
The
no George.
headphones.
Yeah, you got the eyes and the headset. So that takes two senses away, right? Your eyes and your ears. You go into
Mhm.
this world, you go into this game, sense of touch is gone because now you're in this world.
Yeah.
Now think about sense of smell. All they have to do is put a fragrance in the air of the physical
So you
realm
just
that you're in.
pump out like air through the vents
Exactly.
or something.
And like your sense of smell's gone. What's next? Food. If they want to put food in there, food's in there. All right. So now all five of your senses have been hijacked by this game. Okay. At what
Mhm.
point will it become realistic enough to where the brain does not recognize if you are in the real world or not? All right.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how I think is
I mean,
once the technology gets there where it's just like, wow, this image I can't tell if it's real or not, becomes the same in virtual reality. It's like that's when you're gonna be able to live out your entire life because at some point,
no, because
yeah,
like reality is like relative to where you're in, like what the world you're in. But
right,
then, if they think about it like this, if they do make those anime girls into the game and then they're real life, then they're no longer 2D girls.
exactly.
So
Anime girls would become real in the way that we perceive it, in the ways that our body, all the senses, all the mind can
yeah.
perceive it. Anime girls would be real.
So so what would happen, like, let's say you got your little anime girlfriend, you love each other, shit like that. Things start to heat up, who would be providing the physical senses for you when that
Robotics,
occurs?
robotics. So I don't know if you know, but like Japan, I think is super into the cosmetics of making a robot look as real as possible. And I think Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia, but
Yeah, I've seen that shit. It's so creepy.
I think it's South Korea who's really into like robotics in general, humanoid robotics. Like, and they
Sorry,
again
they
they.
said the homies. Okay, my bad,
No,
go on.
that's good. But in America, like we're really into like robots just being able to do like a somersault in the air, being able to open doors. Because America's for some reason into making the killer stuff, that the stuff that's gonna
Dude,
turn rogue and like kill all of us.
I don't know why they do that shit. What do you have to gain from making a robot do a backflip?
And
He's gonna
open
back,
doors. Like these fools are
bro.
going up and opening doors. They're dissecting the door handle to see how to open it. Like
Dude,
stop, please.
fuck
But
that. Like,
but like I was saying, imagine if those three worlds come together. All right, humanoid robotics, the cosmetics of a human being on that robot, and the robot just being able to do normal daily tasks, and now put it into that world that we're talking about. That is a person. At that point, that's a person.
yeah,
Like the
yeah, that's
AI
true,
of people from Saudi Arabia, like that is a person, bro. It's like you would
dude.
not be able to tell any difference with them because they will look like a human, act like a human, feel like a human, and like every
But
way.
but then at that point, why not just be with a real human? Like, if
Because
you're gonna try to mimic humanity as close as possible, why not just go after the real thing?
I think we know the answer to that. Some people don't want to leave their rooms.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. I don't know what I'm asking that for. If that shit was real, I'd cop one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just
Bro,
like,
because real people are like too complicated to deal with and shit. You know?
yeah, bro, you can just program an anime girl and go after her, or she'll go after
Yeah.
you. Easy peasy.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like it's that simple. That
Bro.
simple. So, speaking of how like what's real and what's not real, that goes into this next topic. I think the Paint asked this question. So
The
the
wow.
so this is the question. In an age where information is easily accessible, is knowledge still truly power, or is the ability to learn most important? If neither, what is the most important factor in acquiring or retaining power? So I guess I'll
Pain said this.
yes, the Nicholas, the Paint, real the Paint, the dude with
we thinking of the same guy here?
the Eminem with
Oh, okay, the Eminem with X there.
yeah, yeah. So, do
But
you want me
yeah,
to go first or you
personally,
go? Yeah, go
I mean,
ahead.
yeah, you can go first. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So for me, he said like in the age of information where everything's truly accessible as knowledge still power. My answer to that is truthful. So first off, because it's the age of information, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of it. I would say there's more misinformation right now going around than there is real information. So there's a lot of like
Yeah.
false things being said. So I think the power would lie in the ability to differentiate and be able to see through the filters and be able to see what's real versus what's not real and is trying to be fed to you. All right. And then the second part would be being able to learn the true information. Obviously, knowledge is captured from that information, but first you have to be smart enough to be able to obtain the correct knowledge, the right knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like power is or knowledge is power, and on the internet, knowledge is like easy accessible to anyone, but not everyone is gonna like look for that knowledge.
mhm,
Like they're not gonna try to obtain any of that, and it's then like you said earlier, like it's hard to tell the difference between misinformation and then real information
right,
because if you're just going based off one source on the internet, then you never really know if that's real or not. So
right,
I don't know, like getting the right information. Like we have access to any type of information that we want, but getting the right information is a lot harder. It's just as hard as before the internet.
hmm
So
yeah.
that's how I see
So,
it.
yeah. So I guess to recap, my answer would be, or what truly is power is being able to find out what the real information is and then learning that. Ultimately, everything's derived from information, but now you have to actually apply your own intellectual filters
Yeah,
to what you're seeing and
yeah.
pick up what you want. So, good question, Nick. Good job.
That is a
I,
great question.
I
What
don't
the
know if
fuck?
you're. H. Stewart said the Paint's 8th grade teacher asked him this and he just repeated it. So, if that's the case, give your teacher the thumbs
Hey,
up for us.
I'm gonna be honest. There was some big ass words in that question, so the fact that he remembered all that, props to him.
Hey, real
Hey,
shit. Real
I
shit.
mean, nah, I feel like V Paint's a smart guy though,
He just hides it
in
behind
like
that.
yeah, in like his
Ad.
own weird way, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
get what you're
V
saying.
Paint's V Paint's a different person. Let me turn on a light in here, bro. It's so dark. What the
Proceed.
fuck? I just realized because like I had the sunlight, but then that just went away, and now it's like
Damn.
Jesus. BRB. Sorry.
And my light's making my hair look blonde. So this normally isn't the case, I don't think. So does my hair look blonde here? Let me know. Thanks. Jeffrey Epstein. Yes.
I I deadass turned my light on, and then as I was coming back, I turned it off.
How do you do that? How does he do that? Okay, well we'll go through that, Zeno.
Oh, I'm dumb as fuck. Alright, I'm back.
Epic.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
So Lil Zeno, I think that's his name, said,
hmm
"Do you think Jeffrey Epstein's death was suspicious?"
Oh, 100%. Oh
Yeah.
my god, yes. And the fact that it's literally one of those like House of Cards moments where it's so obvious it looks like it came from a TV or like a TV show or a movie or something. And it's
Yeah.
like and the whole world just forgot about it literally 1 week later. Like that
Right.
shit's just
Yeah.
crazy.
You both gonna die now? All right, man. come and
Fuck it. I
come and
mean,
get me.
shit. Nah, but dude,
Yeah, it's like
really,
it's like
like
you could predict that. You could predict what was gonna happen. I literally said this
everyone
man's
did.
gonna.
Everyone did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like
Dude,
this
high
man's gonna.
profile prisoners like that don't just die.
They do
Like
not.
when do you ever hear of a high profile prisoner like that just dying? Never. Like I don't know. I don't know. And did they ever catch the person that did kill him?
No.
Probably not,
No.
right? Yeah.
Nah, because he killed himself. There wasn't another person. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you're
He
right.
killed
You're right.
himself.
He
Yeah.
killed himself. Yep. In while he was on
Suicide.
suicide watch,
Yeah.
he committed suicide.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Supposedly they
crazy.
took him off suicide watch the night or the day before he offed himself, which
Mm.
just makes it that much more suspicious. Like, why
Why
was
would they
he
take him off?
like?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So
oh, bro.
to answer your questions, yes, we both call BS. Will we die from it? We're all taking you with me. All of you are being taken with us.
Hey,
You're
we're
all
selling out
witnesses.
every single person in here.
Hey, you're all witnesses to what we just said, so y'all coming with us.
Dude, nah, but I've always like I don't hate billionaires because they have money, but it's like to make billions of dollars, you probably have to do some really fucked up shit.
Yeah, there's a
Like
good chance you
like
did
you
like some messed up stuff.
yeah, like so the chances I don't know how to say this right. Like these people that were friends with him, they definitely knew what was happening because whenever you're in a circle with similar people, whether you're billionaires or you're just friends or whatever, like you talk about shit like that you wouldn't really talk about to other people. Maybe not exactly about being a pedophile and all that, but like I'm sure his friends and all his billionaire buddies that were partying at his private islands, they knew what was going on,
Right.
and they knew that if he got arrested, they're going down too.
And here's a good
So
point you made. You said a lot of people they can't get to the point of billionaire unless you've done some questionable, unethical, terrible things. Well, that's a lot of
yeah,
people. Like probably the vast majority of them. Fun fact: the person who created the Nobel Prize, actually made money off of creating weapons of war. And when he was about to die, he's like, "Do I really want to be remembered for profiting off of the death of
yeah,
hundreds of like thousands of people? No, I'm gonna make a philanthropist or a reward for like good people, like the Nobel Prize." So, fun fact about the guy who made the Nobel Prize. So he was remembered as a
yeah.
philanthropist and a very nice man, when in reality he profited off the deaths of probably hundreds of thousands. Who knows?
Dude, like when you really look down into it, all the people that we look up to, all the people from like history, people we look up to, they're all shitty people.
Hmm.
At least the majority of them are shitty people and did shitty things, you know? But
Right.
that's life,
And
no one's
yeah, at
perfect.
the same time, it's
Oh,
like, at what point do you think like, not are you being too harsh on the people from the past, but when you're applying retroactively like the morals of today to them in the past. For example, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, people had slaves, all right? But like George Washington had slaves, Benjamin Franklin, or did I think he had slaves? No, not
I
Benjamin
don't think he
Franklin.
did. Did
No,
he?
not Benjamin. I don't know. I know George
Okay,
Washington did. Thomas
I get what
Jefferson
you're
did.
saying. I get what
Yeah,
you're
it's like
saying. Yeah.
like at what point do we stop ourselves from putting the morals of today on people from the past where things were commonplace? Even though some people back then, or maybe everyone knew like it's the wrong thing to do, but it was just common to do it. So it's like, at
Just
what
stop
point?
by to flex the
I
founder
mean, just
badge.
like in my
See y'all
opinion,
later.
just because something is common to do or because it's okay to do at that time, doesn't mean that like the people doing it don't know that it's wrong. Like if it's something that's like, especially with like something like slavery, where you're literally taking another human being's life and just controlling everything they do or abusing them like that, like everyone knows that's fucked up. You don't need to be born 500 years from now or today to know that. So it's like I still think there's some accountability to be held there,
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
Yeah, I'm agree. There can be accountability held.
Yeah.
This dude said,
It's like I'm sure you do this too, and I do. Like we all do stuff that we know are just wrong, but people still do them or whatever. Like let's say,
right.
with speeding. Like let's say you go 15 miles above the speed limit. Everyone does that. It's illegal. It's wrong. But then 500 years from now, if it's like, oh wow, all these people speeding were terrible people, caused all these accidents, and everyone died, and everyone hates them. It's like, I mean, we kind of knew we were doing something wrong. Maybe we didn't know the consequences of it, but you know,
Right. Or we thought like we're the exception. Like I would never cause any harm with my
yeah,
speeding, unlike other people.
yeah,
So
yeah. Like, okay, that was like kind of a bad analogy, but it
no,
was
that's
just
a
the
that's a
one
good
that popped into
analogy
my
because
head.
it's so commonplace now. Like automobiles weren't
Hmm.
around hundreds of years ago. Everyone has them
Yeah,
now. It's like everyone
yeah.
abuses them now. So
And
no,
then
that's a
and
good
then when we
analogy.
and then like 200, 300 years from now, when everyone has like automated cars, fully automated cars, they're gonna look back and like, yo, what the fuck? They just
Yeah,
drove over the speed limit and just crashed into each other and died, you know?
yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, like when everyone has automated cars, they're gonna be like, wait, yeah, exactly what you said. People were driving manually, and people were driving illegally
Yeah,
manually. So they're gonna be
yeah,
like, how terrible we were. So
yeah.
I completely agree.
I don't
That's
know.
that's a really good analogy. I respect it. So I don't know who said this. and I don't really care to because they cited Socrates, but the question is, know thyself is an ancient concept going back much further than Socrates and is at the root of much of philosophy. With that in mind, what are the most important things to learn about oneself, or is all self knowledge equal? So, for me, um, I think the most important things to learn about yourself would be like the big traits of personality. So now, like psychologists know a lot more about what goes into like a personality.
Yeah.
Like there's agreeableness, there's neuroticism, there's intellectual
The
like
five
intellect.
personality traits.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
five personality, the big five that are split into
Mhm.
big 10. But I think knowing that, so knowing your personality would be most important. For example, someone that is highly agreeable, and I think a lot of the guys, a lot of the mob are highly agreeable people. Avalanche for sure, because Avalanche, I think at one point said like, I hate saying yes to everything. And I think you might be the same way. Like you feel like you're saying yes to a lot of
I'm
stuff.
not like I know what the like names are for them, but I don't know
Oh
about
yeah,
them in
okay. So like
specifics.
agreeableness is like you're given a question and like you say yes. Like if you're highly agreeable, you're most likely to say yes to like anything asked of you. If you're very low in agreeableness, you're most likely to disagree and argue if you don't want to do something or you find something like not cared
Mhm.
for and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like
I used to be like that, but
it's
now
it's
I've
like
like
a
became more agreeable kind of
yeah, it's like
just
a
cuz like I wanted to like stop limiting myself on
mhm.
what I think I can and can't do. So if someone asks me to do something and even if I don't want to do it or even if I don't think I can do it, like I'll say yes and at least try to do it.
Right. It's like a double-edged
Uh,
sword. So most of them are
yeah.
double-edged swords, the personality
Yeah.
traits. Um, when it comes to agreeableness, that's also double-edged swords. So for example, someone that's highly agreeable would brag or be happy because they never get into arguments. They're like, hey, like I'm cool with everyone, everyone's cool with me. We don't ever
Yeah.
argue. We're all happy. Someone that's low in agreeableness would say, no, you're just a yes man. All you do is say yes to stuff. You can't disagree with things. So it's like a double-edged
Mhm.
sword. So I
It's
think
just how
like
like people who see it from different perspectives.
right. And I think like it's smart to know if you're a highly agreeable person because then you know like, hey, am I saying yes because I actually want to do this? Or am I saying yes because my personality I
Mhm.
feel inclined to do this? I feel inclined to
Yeah.
say yes.
No, yeah, I get that. But I mean, I'm just speaking for myself here, obviously.
Right.
I'm I used to be like I wasn't an agreeable person a while ago,
Mhm.
but then that was like stopping me from doing things that I actually did want to do. Because if
Mhm.
you're not doing things that you don't want to do, then the people around you aren't going to do things that you want to do either. So now it's like I try to find a balance of being agreeable but not being like a yes man,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And
you
that's I
know.
think that's like the most important thing is like understanding your personality so you can be like why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I feel inclined to
Mhm.
or because I actually want to? And that goes with like
Yeah.
most things. So like neuroticism, for example, someone that's highly neurotic, that means like they're very emotional. Like negative emotions happen to them quite
Mhm.
frequently, and when they do strike, they're much worse than someone for like me. Like I'm extremely low in neuroticism, so I feel negative emotions very like infrequently, and when I do feel them, they're very low compared to somebody else. Like it's almost impossible for me to dip into a depression, for example, because I'm so low in neuroticism. So
Yeah, I think I might have like high neuroticism because I'm not like a depressed person or
mhm.
whatever, but sometimes I do like struggle trying to control my emotions and stuff like that. Like if I get upset at the small like if I get upset at something small, that'll just ruin my whole day or like week or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
But then again, like if it's something that makes me really happy, like even if it's something small, like that could make my whole day and I'll just be happy for the whole day, you know?
Gotcha.
I don't know.
So yeah, so I think truly understanding your personality traits is probably the best thing you can do to knowing yourself.
Mhm.
Because then you actually have a grasp of like what you feel or why you feel certain ways most of the time. And when you can control your emotions, you can control your decisions on your end. That's like when you're
Mhm.
the best possible version, I guess,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what you could be.
Yeah. But
So
like I also like I don't believe that it's like you're set as one or like the
yeah.
other.
Hmm.
Like you can change, you can be know thyself is like for me at least, it's you know who you are, but you also know who you want to be, like who you want the world to see you as,
Okay.
and striving to like be that person. Like I think that's a that's what we should all be doing, in my opinion.
I get what you're saying.
At least
So
that's
like
what I'm trying to do.
like your character. So you're more looking
Yeah,
at like your character, like pushing your
yeah,
character, being the best character that you can be for the
yeah.
world.
It's like if I was someone else looking at me, would I like myself or would I be friends with me and stuff like that? And it's like
Okay,
if the answer is no because of a certain reason, then well, look into why you're like that.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
So,
Sorry, I'm kind of bad at like words and
oh no, you're
explaining
fine.
myself. So yeah.
No, you're fine. That's actually
Hmm.
brings up something else. So, in my opinion, one of the like because we're in an age of information and everything, I think the most important trait that someone can possess is the ability to articulate. So if you're a streamer, you stream a lot. So like obviously you have to interact with chat, you have to talk about ideas, like
Hmm.
shoot things back and forth. So because of that, you're sharpening your like articulated sword. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm sure you're much better at talking, like conversation wise, high, like conceptually high
Hmm.
wise, than you were before you started streaming.
Oh,
Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Streaming has like it's made me like a better person in general. Just like I'm more social, I'm more extroverted now. I can easily have a conversation and talk about the things that I'm excited about and things that I want to talk about, you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, I get what you're saying though.
yeah. So like I said, the ability to articulate and articulate complex thought. So I don't know if you knew this, but like when it comes to scientific articles, you can actually like if some let's say you like cured cancer, right? Let's say you found a
Hmm.
technique that cured cancer, but you were
Yeah.
just really bad at like writing about it. So like you published this article that like cures cancer with a certain technique and it's a really complex process.
Yeah.
If I saw that and I understood your article and everything, and then I reworded it much better, I could also
Hmm.
publish that. So my scientific article would actually just be yours, just worded better, because that's how
Yeah.
important it is to like
Yeah.
articulate thought.
and and now because you posted a better worded version of what I posted, more people are gonna look at yours and understand it from you and say that you solved cancer or you
Right?
cured
Yeah,
cancer.
like
You know?
yeah. So
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
the ability like you can have the most amazing ideas ever,
Hmm.
but if you cannot articulate your thought and ideas, no one will be able to understand you, even if they want to, because you cannot
Yeah,
lay it out to them the way that they need it laid out. That's why it's just like
yeah.
so important. Like it's a sword, really, it's a sword. It's also a shield because you can,
Hmm.
if someone's articulating like opposing thoughts to you, you can understand that and then fire back. So it's just
Yeah,
like
that's true.
so important.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on that myself because I used to struggle with that a lot, especially in like school and stuff. I like whenever because I was always one of the smart kids in school, but I didn't know how to articulate that
Hmm.
pretty much. So like whenever I knew the answer to something on the board, I kind of write it down or like kind of answer it, whatever, but not in a way that made sense. And then what you said about that cancer stuff is really relatable because like I'd word it in like a weird way that made sense to me, but didn't
Hmm.
make sense to the other person. But then one person might have seen what I was trying to say and they'll say that, and then everyone gives them credit for it
Right.
instead.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like use the age of information, find the right information, get knowledge,
Hmm.
like obtain intelligence, then articulate that intelligence.
Yeah.
Like those are like really big steps. But like once
Yeah.
you do that, like you are a sharp sword, you are a good shield, so it's like you're
No, yeah.
pretty good at that point.
I mean, like people that are you have to be well spoken to succeed in the world. Like you can't if you can never tell people what you're thinking about and the ideas that you have, then people just have no interest to be around you
Right.
because you're like an NPC pretty much. You just
Yeah.
kind of just there.
Yeah, and the only way you get better is by actually talking about like
Yeah,
actually just
yeah,
doing it. Practice makes perfect.
yeah.
Good practice makes perfect. So it's like just articulate thoughts um helps a lot. So,
Even like I've noticed with like when you're talking to people and stuff, it's a lot of what you say doesn't really matter unless it's something that's intellectual or profound or something like that. Like when you think about conversations you have with people, you don't exactly remember like what specifically you said unless it was something like that. Does
right.
that make any
Yeah,
sense?
no, that makes perfect sense. Like people remember like the highlights of conversations or the
Yeah,
highlighted
yeah.
conversations in general. When you can
Like they'll
articulate
remember
it
like one or two sentences when you just talked for like hours.
exactly, they'll remember like basically once you're good enough at speaking, you can like know what exactly they will remember. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll know what they remember.
Oh shit. My bad.
So
You can hear me fine, right?
no, you're
Like I
good.
don't. Okay. All right.
So
So
even though we
I don't have like a mic stand or anything because it broke. So I'm kind of just
damn
putting
B.
it on the table, and I can just talk like a stand-up comedian or something. Like, hello guys, welcome back. Oh look, Ace Slug's here. Hi, Ace Slug.
Hey Logan, bro. Let me find out. Last week, I
Hmm.
emailed him because I have his email. I texted him because I have his phone number. I pinged him on Discord, and I tweeted this man to be on my podcast with the face cam. It took it took like an hour. This man just said no after all that effort. No. Uh,
Bro, it's Ace Slug. You really thought he would come on here
yes,
with the face cam?
bro. This man met up with us in January. This man
Dude,
has to.
I forgot about that. You guys actually met up and saw what he looks like and shit.
Yes.
Ace, do the fucking thing. You want me to hop on the cast on my laptop? Yeah, why not?
Yes.
It's literally just Discord. Like you're
Real
literally just
shit.
using Discord.
That's all it is.
Bro, Ace, you should do like a he should do like a big face reveal kind of thing.
Even though
Kind
he's
of like
already,
Avalanche did.
yeah, he can like
It's like
definitely.
yeah, people know what he looks like, but
But to be like
kind of do
talking,
some
yeah, to
people.
be like talking with and seeing the facial
Yeah.
expressions and everything.
Hmm.
Anyone have a baked photo of him? Everyone has a baked photo of Ace Thug.
Yeah.
My man,
Yeah.
bro, Ace Thug got photoshopped to oblivion. All right, Daniel think he got it bad. I don't know if you saw Daniel getting bullied. Daniel did not get
Yeah.
anything. All they did was post
Bro.
Daniel's normal picture over and over. Ace Thug got
Yeah.
photoshopped on everything.
Dominion or the Bob.
Bro,
Yeah, so many people. Everyone knows what Ace Thug looks like, but they don't know that that's Ace Thug. Like that Minion or Bob thing, is nobody knows that was actually Ace Thug in that pic.
bro,
I was.
I'd never seen anyone get a worse Photoshop treatment than Ace Thug did. It was just so amazing to see him get put on every picture I've ever seen, every meme I've ever seen. This dude was shaking hands with Obama. It was great. It was
Wow, he's really lived a full life, huh? That's crazy.
he out here grinding, bro. We live in an Ace Thug's world.
Bro, the internet's brutal, dude. That shit that happened with Daniel, like that. People were literally just like mad at him for no reason.
It was like some
Like
anime thing. He like subtly threw shade at the anime community. Very subtle. He said something like anime avies be like this. He said something along those lines, and then he just got hounded for I think it was like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Dude, but it's like Daniel's whole thing is that, and this is like even from a while ago, from like 2015 and shit, is like he tweets for people to hate him. Like so, a lot of people don't like him, but he knows that, and that's like I want to say that's his goal, but like that's kind of
it's like a
why he used to tweet the way he tweeted.
it's like an
You
edgy
know?
funny. It's
Yeah.
like to them
Yeah.
it's edgy funny. To us it's just funny, but they find it edgy because it's attacking them. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is.
Yeah. I mean,
So you will join 100 Thieves. Everyone knows that.
yes.
Let's talk about the increasing prevalence of esports in mainstream culture. So like Ninja with Fortnite, FaZe collaboration with like Manchester City,
Mm-hmm.
Drake and Scooter Braun, like how the mainstream world and how esports are gonna collide. And
Yeah,
what do you
I
think like
mean,
implications are of it?
dude, for if anything, for like gamers and people like us and stuff like that, and like especially like streamers, that's that's good as fuck.
Mhm.
Like when we go to like when we get in an Uber or something and he starts talking to us, like the most common question people ask obviously is like, so what do you do for a living, stuff
Right.
like that. And now when we say like, oh, we stream on Twitch or whatever, like they understand that, they know what that is
Mhm.
just because of like Ninja and Fortnite and all that. But a year ago, if you mentioned Twitch or like you said you live streamed, they probably would have thought you were like a porn star or something on like one of those
Mhm.
campsites.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Like
mean, just the more mainstream something gets, the more accepted. Oh my god, I'm making gamers sound like we're super impressed. Gamers are the most
nah, we
suppressed
are the
people,
most
guys.
suppressed.
Yeah, nah, but it's like you know, that whole stereotype of like, oh, all gamers are 600 pounds, live with their mom until they're 39,
Hmm.
play video games all day in their basement, and it's just like that's just people are realizing that's just not true anymore.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like any other activity out there, and especially like with esports, a lot of people, a lot of like I don't know what to call them. Local people,
Yeah. Local.
normies, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
Normies.
that aren't
Yeah.
on the internet, normal people. That's so fun. Me and Ava were laughing about this. Like, we'll laugh at people or like gamers and like people on the internet. We'll make fun of people for just being normal people.
Like not
So,
understanding memes and stuff.
yeah, like not understanding memes, like not understanding why we're laughing at a picture of baked beans deep fried or some
Yeah.
shit like that. I don't know.
And the thing is, like, I'm sure, like, when you went to college and talked with people, everyone knew about esports video, or most people knew about esports video game
They had an
streaming.
idea, yeah.
It's like at my university, like my college, it's like everyone that I talk with. For example, my like colleague, I told him I stream on Twitch. This dude,
Hmm.
the next time I met up, he's like, "Oh yeah, my brother and I were watching your stream." I didn't
Yeah,
I
dude,
didn't have to do
it's
anything. He's just
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like, bro, we talked to the neighbors like a month ago or whatever, and like they asked, like we were just talking to them. They asked whatever, blah blah blah, and like Avalanche tells them that like we're streamers and everything like that, and he and the like our neighbor had his son and himself, like they were both there,
Mhm.
and his son like he just knew everything about it, and so did his dad too. They were like, "Oh, that's so cool, this and that." But it's
Yeah.
like everyone knows about it now. It's not, I don't know. It's great. Like it's good
Hmm.
because now you have something that you can talk to about with anyone. Feel me?
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people, yeah.
It's in the Orwellian window, which I think is like what's the topics that society can talk about or most frequently and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially like
I think it's a good thing.
no,
Like,
yeah. It's like the esports side of it too. I'm not really on the esports side, but like now mainstream people, like mainstream news and all this and that, people have gotten more respect for how much time and energy and work these people put in to be
right,
like the best they are. Like, because now they realize, like, oh wow, everyone plays this game. So these guys are like literally the best out of all these millions and
right,
millions of people that are playing. And like whoever you are, whether you don't think esports are athletes or whatever, like you still gotta respect that.
yeah, for sure. Um, damn.
Is it
I was
Tifa
gonna say,
thing? No, that kid, like when like he checked out our channels or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, thank God you guys aren't sellouts and don't play Fortnite, dude." That shit was so funny. Nah, that was funny as fuck. He's they're cool. Our neighbors are cool. We're glad about that. Because honestly, if they weren't, like, if our neighbors were dickheads, we'd be getting kicked out of here within the first 2 weeks.
real shit.
So we're good. We're good on that.
Let's see.
Ooh, yo, can we talk
Yeah, yeah. You want
about
to talk about that?
yeah, like what turnaround just put in the chat about Blizzard
Hmm.
and all that stuff that's happening?
So
It's like,
for anyone that doesn't know, and for some reason a lot of people don't know, like I was in class yesterday, and
mm-hmm,
my professor asked, "Does anyone know what's happening in Hong Kong with China?" No one knew except me, and she's just like, "What?" So for people who don't know, 1997, Britain and China made a deal saying, "This piece of land, Hong Kong, will be turned over to you in 50 years, completely turned over to you." Until then, they
mm-hmm,
will be their own state in a sense. China said, "Okay." So it's not, they have until I think 2047 until Hong Kong is back with China, completely merged with China. All right,
yeah. See,
but
I didn't know about all that. I just knew that like Hong Kong was kind of its own,
oh yeah,
like its own thing, like separate from China in a way.
yeah,
That's all I
so
knew about it.
that's like a bit of backstory. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, in Hong Kong, they introduced an I think called the extradition. I think it's called extradition bill, extradite
Yeah.
bill, something like that. It's basically where if you commit a crime in Hong Kong, you can be shipped to China, sent to China, where you will be charged and then put in prison. So think about how in America, if you commit a crime in Texas, you will be charged and imprisoned probably in
In
Texas.
Texas, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imprisonment might be a little
Mhm.
different, but probably in Texas. Same thing with any other state. You have to be charged in the state in which you committed it because that is
Yeah.
where the culture is most alike. Like
Mhm.
like for example, if someone were to kill a cow in Texas, that's a big deal. But if you killed a cow in
Yeah.
Texas and then you got charged with it in New York, people wouldn't
Nobody
care.
would give a fuck.
They're
Yeah.
like, it's just a cow. Who
No
cares?
jury would. Yeah. No jury would find you guilty of
So
that.
that's like the important thing. So the
Mhm.
extradite bill, said if you commit a crime in Hong Kong, you can't be charged in China, which makes it a million times worse because now you're not being charged in your home state. Any jury will be like, you're a terrible person, life sentence, like
Yeah.
that. So it's like,
Instantly, like they're not gonna give a fuck.
so it's like the Hong Kong people took that as like, not only like that was that blatantly disrespectful, but like it's also unconstitutional to them because
Yeah.
they're taking away their rights around like 30 years early or something like that. So,
Mhm.
um, let's see. So yeah, so they introduced that bill, and people immediately started protesting. Protesting, that's the word, protesting. Like it was over the summer. So this thing's been going on for I think 3 months now. It's been going on for a while now.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. But it's been
Wow.
spiking in terms of violence because China has sent a lot more police to combat this protesting. So
Yeah. I mean,
it's actually gotten pretty violent. If you go on Reddit slash r
no. Yeah.
slash hardcore,
I've seen it like on when like it trends on Twitter or whatever. Like I'll see it, but I had no idea it was like about all this. I just
yeah,
figured like okay,
this is what
protesting.
started it. This is what started. And let me see it. I
Yeah.
can actually get their commands, or not commands. Their list of commands actually. So the 5 things that they want.
Mhm.
Or what happened? Where'd it go? They got rid of it. Okay, well, one of the big things they wanted was they immediately like get rid of the bill, free all protesters who were arrested, unlabel us rioters because right now they're being listed as rioters, which allows the police to do all these crazy things
Yeah.
legally.
Mhm.
Um, let's see, it was like 2 more things. It was something having to do with like the legislative branches, and one more thing that I don't think it was. It was like one more thing that I can't remember, but that was like the big 5 that they wanted. They had like 5 big commands.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean that's not unreasonable.
yeah, it's pretty reasonable. And the thing is, usually when it comes to like such a hot topic like this, I am very like hesitant to like go away from it, hands off, and just observe for a while because I want to see like both sides objectively. But China's making it
Yeah.
very, very difficult to do that because of their most recent actions. So for you guys that don't know, Blizzard banned a Hearthstone, I think, streamer or player for one
Yeah.
year and took away all of his winnings because he said on stream, free Hong Kong. Or like, I support, he said like along those lines, I support Hong Kong's democracy. So
Yeah.
Blizzard has taken the pro China, anti Hong Kong standpoint. The NBA has taken a pro Hong Kong standpoint, but not, but in the sense that like we are not going to limit what people can say. Owners, employees, we're not going to limit what they can say, but they're sort of iffy on it. Um,
Yeah.
what else? Who else has done something? Activision, because Activision owns Blizzard.
Activision, yeah. Like if
So,
you it when I saw a tweet yesterday that was about like the all the COD Pro League teams and stuff like that, and every reply it got ratioed. Like it was like 400, 500 replies,
mhm,
and all the replies were like boycott Activision, Blizzard, blah blah blah. Like literally, that's just what everyone said.
right.
'Cause I mean, I get why like like it's not a place to make a political statement like that at a post game interview at an esport tournament,
Right.
but to give that severe of a punishment to someone for making a statement like that about their own country, that like that's just ridiculous.
And
And it
is it
makes you think, it's like, does China really own all these companies that we use on a daily? Because even Apple removed the, I believe
Hong Kong
it
app?
was the,
Yeah, it was an
yeah,
app where you could track police movement, right?
yeah, that, and they removed, I believe it was the Taiwanese flag from the from the emojis and stuff. Like they like I'm don't quote me on the Taiwanese one, but it was like a flag related to Hong Kong. I don't really know much about like all the situation there,
Hmm.
but that's just crazy, dude. That like literally every company will let China step on their throat just to get some money from them. You know?
Yeah. This guy, Cryptic No One, said, do you think that people that are uneducated on what's going on, for example, Steve Kerr, should still be blamed for not speaking out against it? Steve Kerr, I think, Steve Kerr actually, he decided not to speak on it, and he said, why don't you ask me about the school shootings in America? Which is like, you decided to completely hijack that question. Now, the
Yeah.
validity of the question he brought up, you can't really question the validity of that. That's a fine point. But at the same time, it's like the fact that he hijacked it so far away, it's like you can't help but wonder, why don't you just answer the question? Because
Yeah.
you work for an American company, all that stuff. So the fact that he
No.
like hijacked it and totally just like threw that
Yeah.
point away makes you
Like
think, what's
the
going on.
way, yeah, I get what you're saying. The way I see it though is like, if there could be two ways about it. He's either too afraid to say something about it of because China owns us or whatever,
Mhm.
or he just doesn't know much about it and doesn't want to speak out of ignorance.
Right.
Because speaking out of ignorance is just as bad. It's probably worse
It
than
is
saying
worse.
nothing.
Yeah,
Like it's a lot worse.
for
Because
sure.
then you have all these people that are listening to you and you don't know what you're saying. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty ignorant on this topic as well, so I'm not trying to speak too much on it.
Mhm.
But just like on the basis, I'm not even talking about like the Hong Kong situation, just the Blizzard situation. Like
Yeah.
what they did was just so wrong. It was wrong, and they should pay for that.
Yeah, for sure. People are boycotting Blizzard and a bunch of other things. Also, dog, go ahead with your
Hmm.
questions. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of companies are bending to China. Like a lot of companies. So it really makes you think like just how much does China? Because I don't think China owns these companies. I think they have a lot of money value
yeah.
in the
Okay, when I
companies.
yeah when I say own, I don't obviously mean like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's like these companies all have their production and manufacturing and everything in China. So if China wants to say fuck you, you're out, they're done. Like they're
right.
they're over. You know?
Hmm.
But yeah.
So did you see Joker?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay,
I
so
was
we will
yeah
not talk about Joker itself, but
yeah.
it'll be
I mean,
this will be a non-spoiler stream.
hmm
But this question: do you think the Joker movie will cause people to act out in violence due to people feeling close to the movie? Great movie, by the way. It is a great movie. Completely agree. Um, do I think they will act out? No, but I think the media wants them to act out because they were hyping it
yeah
up as though everyone and their mom was bringing an AR-15 to the movie theater. And that's what people were afraid because the way the media talks
yeah
about stuff, they can influence us consciously, subconsciously. As long as you hear or see it, you might like for example, you didn't want to go like opening night because you
no
were like,
I
yeah,
like that's why that's the biggest reason why I haven't seen it
you didn't feel
is because
safe.
yeah, I really like I didn't. Not because like I get what you're saying about the media stuff and I want to add more to that later,
Hmm.
but it's just the place we live in now, like the time we live in now and what happened 12 years ago or 10 years ago when the last Batman movie came out
Right.
and it's like yeah, nothing's going to happen, but if something was going to happen, it would more than likely be at this movie just cuz and I'm not one of those people that are like blaming the movie or whatever if anything happens,
Hmm.
but like it's about a mentally deranged person that kills people for his own reasons and thinks he's just about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So
That's
so it
just
makes sense why the media chose this one to like
yeah,
pop
yeah.
off
That's
on.
that's yeah, exactly,
Like if they're
exactly,
gonna go crazy about any movie that they want to something
exactly.
terrible to happen on, this most recent Joker movie was the one, and that's exactly why they did it. I
Hmm.
think every major like journalistic company sent out an article,
Yeah,
opinion piece, of course, saying like why you shouldn't go the first or second week because of how deranged the world is and how someone's definitely gonna get shot up and all this other crap.
oh,
So
yeah. Because these journalists want something to happen. Like yeah, they can say oh we don't want this and that, but it's like they want something to happen because if something happens, that's more money and more clicks for them.
yeah,
So
and then
it's
they
like
can say, we were right. Of course we're right because we're
yeah, yeah,
journalists. Yeah,
that's
we're so
yeah.
smart. So
But it's like if you're giving all these ideas to people and you're just constantly talking about, oh, there's a shooting that's gonna happen here and here and this is gonna happen, like
yeah, like they're
someone will
hyping it
get that
up.
idea.
They're
Yeah,
hyping it up
like
exactly.
they're making it known that, hey, what they're basically saying is, hey, if you shoot up this movie, you're pretty much gonna be the most famous person
Yep.
for like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like that, it's like, why? And that's what I hate. Whenever there's a shooting or whatever, every news media, his name, his picture,
His
everything is
motive,
just
his
right on the
life,
screen.
yeah, his life
Yeah,
story,
like
everything.
his manifesto, and that's the most dangerous part. They get their manifesto and their ideas out there, and that's the one thing that all these like shooters and fucked up people want. Like
Yeah, like
they
the idea
they
plus
want a
all the hype
platform
it,
pretty much.
yeah, the ideas plus all the hype that the ideas received when they were acted out
Yeah,
equal an equation for the next shooter. It's
yeah,
like
and
uh,
that'll motivate a next shooter to do the same thing.
like the smartest thing to do
Uh,
whenever anything like terrible happens, and God forbid anything terrible happens, like everyone hates it besides I guess the people who
mm-hmm.
make money off of it, people who make money off of it. It's like the best thing to do is like mourn the victims and only talk about the victims.
Yeah, yeah.
Call him a
David,
masked gunman. Just call. Don't mention him by name.
yeah, Philip DeFranco does an amazing job at that, and that's why I like watching. Whenever something like this happens, I'll only watch like his videos on it because he literally won't mention the shooter's name. He won't mention their motive or anything. Like, and he'll talk about the victims the
Mhm.
most because it's like
They're the most
I'm
important
not.
people. Like they are
Yeah,
the most important.
like this person should not be famous for doing something this tragic. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I
After
don't
any shooting, the more I hear the most, I don't know if you feel the same way. The more I hear the most is motive. What's the motive? What's the motive? What's the motive? Like they always want to know why something is done when they themselves know the answer and it is themselves. It's like why does someone do something terrible because of the hype that you're giving them? So
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Exactly.
yep.
And it's like they want to know the motive, but people that do stuff like this, they're not mentally sane. Their motives would make no sense to us, like to a normal, like healthy minded person. Like that just it just wouldn't make sense because they'll
And
do shit like that for the most. I don't
like
know.
like the
I don't know.
Joker, like some people just want to watch the world burn. Like really, it's like the Batman trilogy. Some people really
Yeah.
just want to watch the world burn. They get to the point where they literally just want nothing but that. They just want to cause
Yeah,
harm
like
or
there's just evil people in the world. Like not everyone has to have a motive for why they do things. There's just some people are just evil.
mhm.
You know.
So Dog gave us
Holy
a good
fuck.
question. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you know about like the NCAA, but this sort of
Mhm.
ties into it. With athletics bringing in the most money for colleges, how do you feel about gamers getting scholarships? So what do you think about that? Gamers getting scholarships because you know, like teams have their own Counter Strike. Like colleges can have their own Counter Strike team, Rocket League team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen that.
I mean, I feel like if they actually wanted if they like want to build a team that will actually be good and compete at some pro level or whatever, then yeah, give them scholarships because there's the opportunity to make them back. But like a college making a team just to say they have a team, it's like what's the point in that? Who's
Right.
that really helping? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think being able to join like a school team for video games and go to school just for playing video games, that's amazing. Like, it really is.
Mhm.
But like, at least if they go down that route, they got to do it right because if they don't, then it's gonna happen where
You're
people are
gonna end
like,
up
why
like
are
the
we wasting money
NCAA.
on this? Yeah, it's like, why are we wasting money on this? And then people are gonna get a negative idea of what like gaming and competitive gaming is.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Um, you're in California, so I'm sure you've seen the NCAA bill that they put in place of how collegiate athletes can now make money off of themselves
Yeah.
starting in a few years, I think.
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing, dude. I can't believe like that just hasn't been a thing for so long.
mhm.
It's like how can you not allow this person to make a name money from their name, but then you're making billions of dollars from them?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm glad they did that because like especially with like the stuff with Avalanche where he was a D1 athlete and he literally wasn't allowed to show his face or
right,
his name or anything on Twitter or whatever, and he wasn't even making any money off that.
right. So I really hope like all the other states follow in their footsteps because that's like a
Mm-hmm.
really big thing. Like the NCAA is just like really greedy about this because they know
Yeah.
how big college athletes can be. So if they have a monopoly on the college athletes, then they're just gonna make buku money, just insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
yeah, so I'm a big
Dude.
fan of that for sure.
Yeah.
I
Like.
really hope the NCAA doesn't like um not host but like organize esports because esports will there will be more
Yeah.
esports in colleges. I really hope it's not the
Mm-hmm.
NCAA. I really hope another like
I really doubt it will be.
yeah.
Just because I don't know. I feel like the NCAA is ran by like boomers and shit, and it's like and, like they probably wouldn't even know where to start with video games and
hmm
shit like that, you know.
hmm
So I don't think gaming will ever have that problem, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I gotta take this off because it's hot as hell.
bro.
Like I know I'm supposed to look nice and all, but it's like, damn, I'm literally sweating.
Bro, my
Oh
room
no.
gets so hot. I have two fans on. No, I have three fans on, and I have the window
Ooh.
open when there's a cold front. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Nah,
somewhat cool
dude, we have no air conditioning in this house.
because you're in
Like
Cali,
this,
and
yeah, I
it's
don't.
always like cool over there, right?
It's like it won't get like insanely hot to the point where it's like, holy shit, I'm gonna die if I don't have it. But it still would get hot just because it's a warm place, you know? And like not I don't understand that logic. Apparently like 50% of houses in Los Angeles don't have air conditioning.
hmm
It's like you live in a place where it's always sunny. Why would you not have air conditioning?
Right,
I'd rather my house not have heating or something because at least I could just put on sweatpants and a jacket and be fine. What am I gonna do? Take off my skin?
bro. Some people take off your yeah, bro. Take off just just the bones. We got it.
Bro, just literally just the first layer of skin just gone, huh? Nice and cool.
Yeah, like bro. Before when I didn't have a face cam, I would literally stream almost butt ass naked. Like
Yeah, I've done that too.
like I would literally stream almost butt ass naked. So like I had a prep when I got my face cam to wear a shirt. So like I had like practice streams where I would wear a shirt. It's like because it gets so hot in my room, I had to like understand
Yeah,
like the
yeah. No, okay, I
aerodynamics and
get that. I
everything.
get that.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Oh my god. I literally felt my jacket and it's wet.
God. Well, believe it or not, some people in Texas don't have ceiling fans. They have AC, they don't have ceiling fans.
Why
And
is that a big deal?
no, it's a pretty big deal because it circulates the air in the room, so the air conditioning pushes it in one way, and then the
Oh,
ceiling
okay.
fan. And some ceiling fans go crazy. My brother's ceiling fan will literally drop this man's room like what feels like 10 degrees, 10 whole
Nah,
ass
yeah,
degrees.
yeah.
Like some
I mean, I've
ceiling,
had a ceiling fan in my room. That shit's insane, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's necessary. It's nice though.
it's like
It's
especially
nice.
in
I think
Texas
that's what
because
I need.
Texas gets like a lot of like Houston area gets a lot of humidity, so like you sort of
Yeah,
need AC and
that's.
ceiling fans.
Oh, I guess
So
that makes sense why you'd need it if there's a lot of humidity.
yeah, it's
But
like
yeah,
literally like I'd rather live in Arizona where they get like 105 degrees, no
yep.
humidity, than living in
That's
Texas,
yeah,
95 degrees, 100%
yeah,
humidity.
dude.
It,
I grew up in Tennessee, and the summers literally felt like hell. Like you walk outside, and it's like you're walking through water or something, trying to just you just feel like all sticky and shit
yeah,
instantly. It's so.
it's like
Oh,
you go
I
get
hate living in
mail, you
places
come
with high
back in, you
humidity.
go get mail, you
Yeah,
come back
yeah,
in, and you're sweating,
yeah.
just
You're
like
literally you look like you took a dip in the pool or something.
yeah, it's
Nah,
pretty
but
crazy.
okay. So is there another topic?
Yeah, I got questions. I think we hit all the. What if?
Yeah,
Oh,
I want them to ask some questions and shit that
Q
we
and A
want to I don't
time.
know.
Q and A.
Yeah, that's what we like doing on the mobcast and shit. So
All
I don't
right.
know.
Well, I guess one question that goes off of another one that was asked earlier. If you could pick any team or organization that Hundred Thieves would partner up with, so like you are now like, you know how Liquid teamed up with Marvel to get those sick
Yeah, yeah,
jerseys.
yeah.
So if you could choose like any organization, any like company, club, what company or club would you pick to be with Hundred Thieves?
Damn, I don't know. I haven't thought about that a lot. Um,
Because like obviously you got the resources for it. Like if Drake reached out like, hey bro, I want this, it'll be like, word.
shit, I don't know. Oh, you know what would be nice is if they partnered up with like an airline company or some shit, and we all just got free flights everywhere.
That would
Cause
be
flights
pretty
are
nice.
expensive,
Yeah.
dude. Like especially going back home, like back and forth and shit. That shit adds up.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Just
Like,
bring the home over here, bro. Just bring it over where
oh
you
yeah,
are.
no, I'm trying, dude. I really am trying to get my family to move out here and shit. Just because, like, I know they would all love it. Not in LA specifically, but just like in California. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
LA is a different animal. Every
Yeah, it's
Bro, I got paid by Twitch when I was at COD Champs, and literally I went to a store where it would have immediately just taken all the money out of my account. It's like,
dude. Oh my God, LA money wise, literally the worst place you can live in. Holy shit, it's so expensive out here. Like just getting food, just eating food will take all the money you have in your bank account.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. Mm,
This is a good question.
bro.
I don't know how this works, but could the mob sign someone? So if you wanted to add someone to your group, the mob, do you have that power?
Like to get them in 100 Thieves as well?
Like
Or just to get them like in the mob, just to be part of our group.
like now the mob would consist of you four and that person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't really have like an extra room in the house or anywhere for them to move in. But like if we really wanted someone to join us, like we could definitely do it, yeah. Like
Okay.
there's nothing that's like really stopping us.
Hmm.
Like even on 100 Thieves, like I'm sure they'd be down too, because it's like the more people we have, the more content,
Right.
especially if it's a person that's like actually, trying to like make it and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I don't know.
Bump to my
So Turkey
question.
can still join? Nope.
Bro, I will legit purge people who come in my chat with turkey emotes. Like turkey emotes are banned in my chat. You stay away.
Dude,
Stay away.
bro, I don't know what happened to Turkey, dude. His Twitter now is it's terrible. He literally has the worst tweets I've ever seen.
I think either he's muted or like I don't follow anyone that retweets that man. Or
I had him unfollow. I unfollowed him for a long ass time, but I
so
think I followed him again. I
so
don't know.
Fishy Finn asked, "Have you? What's the future of the mob? Like obviously they will continue with 100 Thieves, but like content wise, mobcast, etc. So do y'all have
Content
like?
wise,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, okay, content wise, like we're bringing the mobcast back. That's our like people don't understand it, but the mobcast is the one thing that we like genuinely love and want to do. Like that's
Mhm.
like the number one thing for us. It always has been. And but there's always been like obstacles in the way of why we couldn't bring it back. And like we could have brought it back, but it wouldn't have been how we envisioned it. It
Mhm.
wouldn't have been as well made or as good, you
Could,
know?
could you
And
give
like
us
if
some
we
details of how you envision the next mobcast?
it's like, well, obviously we're all yeah, like we all want to be together like during
Hmm.
it. We didn't want to do another one after we Sore House with the face reveal. We didn't want to do another one where we're just like in Discord because it
Hmm.
wouldn't feel the same, you know? Like,
Right.
yeah, it would have been nice, but like it just isn't the same. So getting a house was a big step on that, but also like building the set of where it's going to be, like that takes a lot of money and time. And we have the time, but we just don't have the money right now.
Hmm.
Although we are working on like getting that done. Like the Mobcast is going to come back really, really soon. Like a lot sooner than most people think. And I know we've
Nice.
been saying that for a little bit, but like now it's like actually coming into fruition.
And a lot of people, or some people, are probably wondering, like, Frosty, it's been so long since you streamed. It's like, what's going on? But I'm sure, like, this break that you took going to see family, like, sort of like rejuvenated you, and like,
Oh, it has.
yeah.
Dude, like I've never wanted to just grind out everything as much as I have now because we
Mhm.
have the best opportunity to do this. We have a
Mhm.
team house, we have a whole organization that we can use their resources and help with and all this stuff. So a couple things aside, like after like getting some things set up and stuff, but I'm literally just gonna be grinding out my streaming and YouTube. YouTube's a big thing for me. I really want to do that because like it's what I've always wanted to do. Like yes, streaming video games is fun, but like the IRL stuff, that's the stuff that our community really loves and wants to see,
Mhm.
and YouTube is the perfect place for that.
Right.
So
Are
yeah.
you gonna have like a live, like, would you ever do like a Ice Poseidon type stream where you literally just walk down the street talking with people?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm like that's another thing. I'm gonna start doing streams like that right now. Um After I get paid from Twitch in a couple days or whatever, I'm literally going to Verizon, getting their unlimited plan thing because they
Mhm.
have like a certain plan that you need to be able to stream like that.
Right.
I'm gonna go get that, get it like a new phone because my phone's kind of busted right now. If you can't tell, you can literally see
Oh
through
yeah.
it.
Which phone is
Like
that? Yeah, I can see through
that's
it.
the iPhone 8. Like
Okay,
this is the iPhone 8, like the small one, not the big one.
gotcha.
Hey, but look at that, dope.
Word.
All right, but yeah, like I'm another thing. Like once I get a PS4, I'm gonna bring back all the like single player games that I used to do
Okay.
because I've really been wanting to do that, but I haven't had a PS4 this whole time, so I'm gonna go buy one, and after that, I'm just like I'm going OD on it.
Can we expect a 24-hour live stream anytime soon?
Yeah, probably. I don't see why not.
Because like that's like the
Honestly,
epitome of
honestly,
grindy.
yeah, honestly, like all four of us might do a 24-hour stream on like just like all of us together, you know? I
That'd be
think that would
pretty
be
cool.
fun.
That would be
But
really
yeah,
nice.
I miss doing stuff like that. I miss like
Like y'all could definitely do it at this point. It's just like y'all could have designated like you work or you're there for 6 hours, I'm there for
yeah.
6 hours. Like y'all
I mean,
play
see, that
together
would be easy. Like that'd be easy, but like having one where all four of us are
are
like
on it.
doing a 24-hour the whole time, that would just be like next level shit.
Yeah. All four
But so
sleeping
what
stream. That would be
yeah. Oh, we've talked about that, dude. We're 100% doing a sleeping
oh
stream where
word.
it's all four of us, bro. That would be so funny.
That sounds great.
Holy shit, that would actually be hilarious. Oh my god. Mm.
Spooky games. Oh yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of that. I'm gonna be playing like as many scary games as I can find, like towards Halloween, or like the last like 10 days of Halloween or before Halloween. I'm literally just gonna like play a scary game a day.
Are you
I
gonna
thought I could do, yeah.
no go ahead, go ahead.
I thought I could do one every day for all of October, but then I realized there's not that many scary games out
Right.
there, so you know. But yeah, what were you saying?
Are y'all gonna y'all should definitely do a live stream of like a Halloween festival or something that like is going on in your area because I'm sure like some sort of
Yeah.
festival
Oh
like
yeah.
costume wise
No,
going
yeah.
on over there.
No, I'm sure there. I think we have something planned for Halloween with 100 Thieves. Like
Okay,
they might like do like a video or something. I don't know. I gotta wait. Yeah, I gotta like look more into that. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do something for Halloween. It's gonna be fun.
nice.
Mm.
So I don't know if you know, but I have actually wait. I just moved that over there. I have
What?
actually
Oh,
been doing YouTube a bit, and because
really?
y'all have inspired me. Because I'm like, bro, if they're getting on the YouTube grind, I'm gonna attempt.
Hey,
I have a, like a
that's dude. That's what I love to hear. Keep doing that
because
shit.
like
But
yeah, it's like
wait, like what
actually
kind
like
of videos do you post and
so
stuff?
I post. So I actually posted a vlog and it was me literally like giving a room tour and like showing the inside of my PC.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond scuffed. When I say beyond scuffed, it was in portrait mode. The
Oh
fans the
no.
fans were playing in the background. Like you could hear
Oh,
fans
bro.
the entire time. And I didn't even know what I was saying half the time. I'm just like, yeah, this is my keyboard. Corsair, no. Razer, no. I was just, like, I didn't know what
Oh,
I was saying.
yeah,
So
that's.
I decided to go up with it, like put it up there, cause like it's a stepping stone. It's my first vlog. It's
Mhm.
gonna be hella scuffed. I actually
Yeah.
recorded another video yesterday, like after my class, where I literally just talk about like my campus, talk about like
Mhm.
there's, cause I live on a like not I don't live on, but my college is on a nature preserve. So like literally there were just deer chilling, and I was able to walk up to the deer and like just like talk about the deer. So it was pretty nice.
It's actually
Um,
kind of dope. What?
so I'm actually like, yeah, getting into vlogging. Whenever we're done with the podcast, I'll actually render that and put that on YouTube so the next day
Yeah.
so people can see that. Highlights of like streaming and whatnot. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Nah, dude, that's
I'm
dope.
attempting.
I love, and this is what I was talking about on Twitter a while ago, where it's like, I love seeing people that I've been friends with for a long, long time, like getting into this and doing the same thing we are, because like yeah, we meet a lot of people that we're friends with and we're all in the same industry, but it's something different like when you can have people that you've known before you were in the action like before you were actually in the industry and then you can like grind out with them.
Right.
Like it's just a different experience. And that's
Yeah.
why like that's why I love like the mob so much because that's basically what we are. But like I want more people to be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't
For
know. Because
sure.
when I first started, like when the whole idea of like the mob came out or whatever, or just like make a streaming group or shit like that, like I was asking everyone. I was talking to everyone that I was friends with. I was like, "Hey, have you thought about maybe streaming? It'd be cool, you know. It worked out pretty well for me. I could help you, this and that." But
Mhm.
it's like nobody really wanted to do it, or everyone said like, "Oh, I can't. I got school. I got work. This and that," which I guess makes sense. You know, they're
Yeah.
valid reasons. But then like Mako, Avalanche, Classy, they start streaming. They actually listen, and like now it's worked out really well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Hope Chase blows up. Yeah, Chase is pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I've
really
been I've been
nice.
watching a couple of his streams. He's funny as fuck. I'm glad he started streaming.
Yeah, for sure. And like, even if you are going to school and everything, like people have free time. Like unless you're
Yeah.
going for something insane, like even Alex, like Doc Gore, he has
Hmm.
free time, and that man has a 4.0 GPA in college.
No, yeah, like
Like,
even I was doing this when I was going to school for biochemistry. Like that's like it is doable. Yeah, you can't like put your all in into it, but you can still do it.
yeah, you can like try it
Like
out.
it's still, yeah.
Yeah,
And like Richie, for example, he's going to school.
computer
His
engineering is his
degree, yeah,
major.
computer
Yeah.
engineering, like that shit's hard as fuck. Pretty much one of the hardest majors you can major in,
Hmm.
and he still does it. You know?
Yeah, like he was streaming Mario Sunshine earlier, and I was watching it. So it's like everyone I think should give it a try, even if you're just like putting yourself in the shoes of a streamer, because a lot of people they don't understand like what goes into streaming. Like it's a lot of effort,
Yeah,
it's a lot of time, and it's a
yeah.
lot of like putting
It's
yourself
not as
out there.
easy as it looks. Yeah, like especially like mentally, it's not as easy as you would think
Hmm.
because streaming does take a lot of like mental energy out of you. Think about it. You're literally talking like you're just nonstop talking for 7 to 8 hours every day.
Hmm.
Like no person out there talks nonstop for 7 to 8 hours. Like besides like streamers and shit like that, because it's like even when you're having a conversation, like me and you, how me and you are talking right
Hmm.
now. Right now, you're not talking. I'm talking.
Right,
But if you were streaming by yourself, you'd literally be talking the whole time. Like you wouldn't have these little breaks that you normally have in like a normal conversation.
right.
And that stuff is super mentally draining. And if you do it wrong or if you don't do it, if you do, I don't know how to word this. If you go about it the wrong way,
Hmm.
like you're gonna get burnt out. And I've been there. Like I've been burnt out before. It's hard to like come back from that too.
It's like
I don't know.
when I first started streaming, I'm about to come up on 1 year since I started streaming back in November, of
Hmm.
last year. I was legit like grinding. Like I reached 1,000 hours streamed like a couple months ago, I think. But before I was streaming like 200 hours a week, and but the thing is I was only just streaming.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was an
remember that.
insane amount.
You were doing like 12, 13 hour streams on the daily, and I would look at that and be like, what the fuck? But
Like,
like, because like that shit's not easy. That
yeah,
shit is not easy.
but I literally grinded to the point where like I fell asleep at the wheel and almost died. It's like
Yeah,
that.
like that's
Like,
like shit like that, dude. Like it's bad. It's bad.
yeah.
I saw
So
someone say like teachers in the chat, and it's like, yeah, you talk a lot when you're a teacher, probably most people, but it's like you still have these little breaks in between to gather your thoughts or this and that. Like when you're
unless
streaming, you
you
can't
want to,
take.
yeah, unless you want to talk. Like, so my professors love to talk. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But like when you're streaming, you don't have that like you can't just leave 10, 15, 20 seconds of dead air with nothing being said.
Hmm.
eh, Just because that people just leave. Like people have attention on the internet. Everyone's attention span is so small that literally 5 seconds of something boring, they're gone.
Right. Heinz says
But yeah.
sorry for a short stream at 5 hours. Yeah, my average stream time used to be like 8 hours, like dead ass. Like my average
Bro.
time was like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But now I've like learned to like
Mhm.
stream when I know I'm gonna have something to do. Like there's no point.
That's
Yeah.
that's my sorry. I'm sorry to cut
No,
you
no,
off,
go
but
ahead,
like
go ahead.
that's my biggest thing. I don't like forcing a stream. Like
Hmm.
like if I know I don't have anything to do or anything to talk about or I'm not in the mood to be entertaining, I don't like being like forcing myself to stream just for the sake of streaming.
Right.
Cuz yeah, like that'll help you with growth and stuff. Like if you're like do it consistently every day, every single day, have a schedule and all that, that helps you with growth and making more money and stuff like that. But it hurts the quality of your streams for so much, like
Right.
such an insane amount.
Like
You know,
before,
I
like
like
if I was done playing a game, I would literally just stream me on Twitter, replying to people, like roasting people, doing whatever. But it's like now,
yeah.
but I know like when I reach a threshold of like I'm done playing stuff, I'm done like
Mhm.
trying to be entertaining.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna sit here and like be normal. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna host somebody, someone who's actually like being like like indulging into a game, like
Yeah,
having
exactly.
fun.
Like that's the point of hosting. You know, you might not be or have the energy to like stream anymore.
Right.
So you're just gonna send your viewers to someone that does, and
Right.
then you know, but yeah. Any tips for smaller
There's a
streamers?
lot of tips, like for
There's a
sure.
lot, but the biggest one that I can give is don't focus all of your time on your stream. Like it,
Hmm.
like if you're just streaming for 8 hours a day every day to zero viewers, that's not helping you at all.
Hmm.
Like you have to, because Twitch is one of the hardest platforms to grow on. So you have to grow on either like Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, something like that, and then bring that community to Twitch. Like that's what I did. That's what you did as well, Heighten.
Hmm.
Like that helps you. Like you can't, because the problem with Twitch is that there's no sharing feature. Like there's no way if I like a stream, there's no way for me to tell all the people that follow me on Twitch to go watch that stream or to give
Right.
exposure to that person. But on Twitter, like if I like a tweet, I'll retweet it and all these people will like and retweet it and they might follow the person and now
Hmm.
that person has a little bit of a following and they can keep going from that.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's good
like I'd
advice
say
for sure.
I'd say like 60 to 70% of your time should be spent trying to grow on another platform, and then the rest like on Twitch, just so people know that you are a streamer. Because when you do get this like new community and you grow through another platform, like they have to know that you're a streamer. Otherwise, they're never gonna go to your stream. I don't
That's a good point,
know.
Fishy. He says like I have a decent following on Twitter, but when I tweet on my stream, it's a ghost town. The thing is, people do stop by for like a fraction of a second to see like what you're doing, how you're acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people like when someone tweets out a stream, like at least with me, when someone tweets out a stream on my timeline, I will almost always click it
Yeah.
to see like get a glimpse of what they're doing, like how they're acting, like what they're playing and everything. And like
Mm-hmm.
if I like it and I think like in those 5 seconds it's enjoyable, like I'll stick around and start talking and chat and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
like that's how I am too. Like I'll click on pretty much every stream link I see, but if I'm not entertained within like 10 seconds, I'm going to go to a different streamer that I know will entertain me.
right.
So,
Like whenever people are streaming, like I'll go on Twitch and like for example, 5 people will be streaming that I know, like and I'm friends with. I'll stop by every stream, like saying what's up and talking in chat for like a good amount of time until like my like it's no longer entertaining for like 10 seconds or something, and I'll go to the next stream and say hi,
mhm,
what's going on. Like I like talking in a lot of people's like I like interacting with the entire community, and people
yeah.
like fish and like the thing is people like interacting with you in your stream, but it's like if they don't feel that like connection of entertainment, they're just gonna move on to the next person.
Yeah. And it's also like it can't just be where you have a following and then you're like, "Oh, hey guys, now I'm streaming." It's like those people have to have a reason to watch you on stream
Right.
because they follow you on Twitter, but now you got to give them a reason to follow you on Twitch.
Right.
So, and like what I did when I first started is I used to play games with like people that would come from Twitter and stuff. Like I would tweet out like, "Hey, who wants to play Fortnite or something?" And then people would hit me up on Twitter. I'd play with them and then people from Twitter would see that I was like, oh look, he's playing with
Mhm.
like people that we know, people from Twitter, this and that. So I'm gonna go watch. Or like Scribble, for example. Like people like to be involved. If they're not involved, then they have no reason to like stay. There's no connection there.
And it's also like a snowball effect because you have if you have zero viewers, you have no one to interact with. So someone who is stopping by doesn't see any interaction because you have zero viewers.
Mm-hmm.
While someone that has like 30 viewers and is like talking with chat all the time, a new person will come in, see them talking with their viewers, and want to stick around so they can also talk with the streamer. So
Yeah,
it's like you sort of have to get the ball rolling, but once the ball's rolling, it's like it's all up to you to keep it like keep expanding it over and over.
exactly.
Like the
You just
hardest
feel like
part,
you're late.
yeah, the hardest part is creating the ball and get it rolling. Like that's the hardest part.
Yeah. Tater, I had to stop doing Twitter or poker streams because one, I was getting addicted to it, which was bad. And then two, when I'm on stream, like I'm not playing the game to win, I'm playing the game to entertain. So I was losing a lot of money doing it. Like off stream, I'd play, like I'd start off with like 5, $10, and I'd make like $100, $200 or whatever. And then I'd turn on my stream and I start like doing stupid stuff, focusing more on the chat instead of the game, and I
Mm-hmm.
just lose all that money. That was just like a really bad cycle that I love poker and I love streaming it, but I just knew that it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like good for me
Yeah,
to
like
do
I
that.
like I would remember like the entire show would be like all in, or like double in,
Yeah,
double.
yeah, shit like that.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yep.
so
Mm,
makes sense.
but yeah, I'm good now.
Spider-Man
Good.
playthrough last year was so much fun to watch. Yeah.
It was, dude. Spider-Man is that Spider-Man game was a one of my favorite games that came out. This I'm gonna play that shit again because it was like I only beat the main story mode, but this time I'm gonna beat it to like 100% completion. And I know like
Real
it's kind of
shit.
old now, and pretty much everyone's played it, so viewership wise, it won't do that well. But like enjoyment wise, that game is so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, the DLCs too.
I'm gonna feel the same way when the new Star Wars comes out. I think it comes out like mid-November. It's like I
Really?
haven't played a single player game, like genuinely played a single player game since like Battlefront 2, the
Yeah,
original
I
Battlefront
played.
2. Like
Yeah,
I love that
same.
campaign, the voiceover from the or the stormtroopers and everything. Like that was so amazing. So I'm like, all these people are playing like single player games. I'm like, let me see if I can get back into it because I tried playing like
Hmm.
one of those Telltale games where it's like a walkthrough sort of, or it was like a
Yeah.
game where like you get decisions, like a decision based
Yeah,
game.
yeah, decision making game, yeah.
Like I tried playing that and I was just so like bored. Like so I'm
Hmm.
thinking like let me
If
try
you
single
can't,
player again with the
yeah,
new Star Wars that's coming out.
yeah, with single player games, you really have to kind of, especially those decision making, you have to like force yourself to get immersed into the game to
Mhm.
really enjoy it because you're not actually playing anything. You're just like clicking a decision every now and then. So like it's like watching a movie, and if you're not entertained by it, if you're not immersed in it, you're not gonna like enjoy it. But
Yeah.
that's easier to do when you're on stream because everyone is like immersed into it, and it's like watching a movie with like friends. It's more entertaining. It's
Right.
like it's a better movie when you're watching it with other people than when you're watching it by yourself, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So I'm definitely gonna be playing the new Star Wars game, and hopefully it like can I guess trigger like the single player like brain in my head to play more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be playing that. I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty, like, but mostly the new Star Wars
Yeah.
game. Like, Call of Duty is like a constant, like every single year, new Call of Duty. So it's like
Yeah.
you can always look forward to that. It's like a reliable thing that comes out. But like the new Star Wars, it's like I'm really like banking on to have fun. So
Mm-hmm.
what
Dude,
what about you? What are you like looking forward
the
to?
the one game that I'm looking forward to, but that I know will never happen is Elder Scrolls 6. Like when that game comes out, I'm not gonna leave my room for like 3 months and just grind the shit out of that game.
Hmm.
Because Skyrim and Oblivion were easily my favorite games. Like I had like 2,000 hours on Skyrim when I was a kid. It was but I know that like with the way they're going right now, they're not that game's never gonna get made. Now all they care about is microtransactions and
Hmm.
mobile games and shit. Dude, they had the audacity to make us think that they were gonna release a new Elder Scrolls like trailer at E3, and then when it got to it, it was some bullshit mobile like game. Like nobody wants that. Just give the people what they want. Like it's been what, 7 years now? No,
Hmm.
it's been 8 years now. Jesus fuck. That came out in like 2011, right? I don't
The
know. That's
last
some time
Elder
ago.
Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Skyrim.
it's
That let
oh
me look it up.
Skyrim. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, PS5 is coming out.
November 2011, bro. That's insane. That's
The PS5 is coming out. Looking forward to that. But like consoles are to PCs what VR headsets are to cameras in the sense that like consoles always get the hand me downs. Like the for example, a
mm-hmm.
PC could get like what are they at right now for like G like what is Nvidia at? Like 2080 RTX or something like that?
2080, yeah, RTX 2080 Ti. That's the
It's like
strongest
it's just
one.
something
Like,
ridiculous like that that it can do just
and that's just
incredible
stuff that's meant
things.
for gaming. Like, there's other shit like Titans and shit like that, dude.
It's like
But yeah,
and
like,
if you see the newest cameras, like just straight up cameras,
mhm,
they capture
mhm.
images that like you take a picture of something and you literally cannot tell, like
Yeah, like it looks like real life.
yeah, it looks like
Like
real
it's.
life. So it's like that's why I say like consoles get the hand me down version of everything else, like from
Mhm.
years past. So for example, like PS5 will probably only have like the capability of like a 1080 or maybe a 1070,
Yeah,
while they're already at the RTX 2080
yeah.
Ti's.
And then by the time like they come out with, gonna have their next generation, like the 3000 cards. So
Exactly.
it's like, dude, honestly, I could never see like, if I have an option to play a game on PC versus console, I'm gonna choose console 99% of the
Yeah.
time. Or no, not console, PC.
Oh.
Sorry. Like, I'm gonna choose PC 99% of the time to play that game on. Because it's such a better experience. I have
Hmm.
more freedom. It looks better. It runs better, and I don't have to use like a fucking controller and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I used to
Like
be a
it.
console fanboy,
Mhm.
but now like I can't imagine playing on a console game for fun when I could be playing it on PC.
Like the one game I think I can't play is Call of Duty on PC. Because
Yeah,
I've been
there's like
playing Call
certain
yeah,
games,
like I've
yeah.
just been playing Call of Duty since like
Mhm.
forever on
Yeah.
console, so it's like I
When
can't not play it on a controller.
Yeah, when I try to play COD on PC, my brain knows what to do. Like, my brain knows what I'm supposed to do, but I'm so not used to playing Call of Duty like on a keyboard that I have no idea which buttons to press and shit,
Right.
and it's just bad. But like on console, I instantly know like what to do, where to go,
Right.
how to use the controller and shit like that.
For
But yeah, there's
sure.
games like that, and like also sports games as well, I guess, where they're just better on like a
Oh yeah,
PS4 or
for sure.
something.
Imagine like playing FIFA on like a mouse and keyboard. Like that
No,
would just feel so
fuck that.
that would just feel so wrong.
I don't even know if you could do is FIFA available on PC?
I don't even know. But
Probably not.
yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just like consoles are just so far behind, but they still have that like value of like you're playing on a controller sort of thing. Like you're playing
Yeah.
like on the platform of
Yeah.
those people. So
Dude, and if I really wanted to, I could just hook up a controller to my PC and
yeah,
like have that same
for
experience, you
sure.
know? So
I
it's like
really I really like what Modern
yeah.
Warfare did. You can like it'll literally tell you when someone is playing on PC but they hooked up a controller. Like it'll say that. It's like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
person's on PC but they're playing on a controller. So they'll get
Yeah.
into like similar lobbies like that.
That's what Fortnite did too. That's one thing I love about Fortnite is that they made crossplay and stuff like that
Trend.
like a common thing. Yeah, they
Yeah.
made it like a trend in the gaming world. So now any new game that comes out is gonna have that.
Yeah, or like should definitely consider having that
Yeah,
because
yeah, exactly.
they opened all the gateways and I'm sure there were a ton of
Mhm.
roadblocks in their way to get crossplay, but they just
Yeah.
opened so many like
Yep.
things that were closed
And
before that like now those doors are open for other games to take
exactly,
advantage of.
exactly. And now that we know those doors are open, and like a game company refuses to do that,
Hmm.
then they're either seen as like sellouts or they just don't care enough.
Right,
So yeah.
for sure.
Hmm.
Kept getting shit talk for PC controller. Hey, bro.
I mean,
that's Call of Duty though. They gotta shit
yeah,
talk you.
bro. Oh my god, the new COD. One thing I was so excited. Wait, hold on. My bad. I just
Police.
heard, dude. I just heard something like start shaking and shit. I thought we were gonna have an earthquake, but it was just a truck like driving by.
Oh word.
Nah, but dude, the new COD game when we were playing it, those lobbies were literally like 2012, 2013
Uh huh.
COD lobbies. It was
It was so
amazing, bro.
fun.
Oh my god, it was hilarious.
Nobody
That's why I
was
didn't
safe.
stream that game, dude.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's why I didn't stream that game because I knew if I did, I'd either have to turn the voice chat off, which would have been boring,
mhm.
or I just get banned.
It's like no one was safe, no matter like literally just the icon
Yeah.
next to your name, like that showed
Yep.
what you were playing on, was grounds to like destroy your life. Like,
Dude.
like I was going off a gamer tag, I was going off a platform, I was going off of
Took
score.
someone's whole life based on what badge they use, bro.
Literally, that was it. Bro, I was
No,
pretty
Josh, I
toxic.
have not experienced an earthquake. Yeah, we all were. All COD kids were.
Yeah, bro.
It was part of the like culture back then.
And I still am toxic, bro. In Counter Strike the other day, I put keybinds on to say the words "later nerd" and "see ya" with the @ like on my mouse, on my mouse. So when I get a
On your
kill,
mouse, not even your keyboard.
no,
That's so...
no. So whenever I get a kill, I can instantly say "later nerd" when I kill them, like that.
Dude, that's so petty. Yeah, the Sia mouse, dude. I miss Counter Strike, bro. I miss when we all used to play like games together and shit, like Counter Strike, H1, all that shit. Those are fun. Ah,
So yeah,
the good old days.
it's freaking amazing. Yeah, bro, we were
Nah,
playing
dude,
earlier, and I was literally just spamming later nerd when I got a double kill, and between the kills, I put later nerd. Like the instant I kill somebody,
dude.
there's a later nerd in chat, and then I kill someone else, there's a later nerd in chat. It was like an instantaneous thing. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure they enjoyed that. The good old days when we only played with you because Make a Wish contacted us.
and now you are
And
Make a
now
Wish,
Make a
Logan.
Wish is contacting me to play with you, Ace.
Hey, real
So,
shit.
nah,
We know
Ace,
that.
I miss hanging out with you, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, we need Avalanche to unblock Ace Thug. All right,
He won't.
bro.
He won't.
the
That's never gonna
the
happen.
entire like situation, like it was like, first off, the situation to begin with was confusing, and then it got retold so many times to where
Yeah,
it's just like, what the fuck happened? Like I actually I actually can't remember what exactly happened. So it's like,
I mean, I get why he hasn't blocked.
but like
So
I don't know. Maybe he feels betrayed. You betrayed him, Logan. Betrayed
I don't know.
your OG.
I don't know. I don't want to speak on like Avalanche. Like, you know, I don't want to like,
Oh yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
speak on something on his behalf.
Mhm.
So
No, like it makes sense.
that's
Like
between him and Ace Thug.
yeah, value wise, like face value, it seemed really bad. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna get verified on
Ah.
Twitter. Hey, bro, I need to get verified first. But
Oh,
before I get verified, I need my OG 5-letter ad back. So whoever I got to contact to
Dude,
get that,
you losing that was so tragic.
like
that was
top 5 worst days in.
top 5 worst betrayals ever.
I know, right? Like whoever I need
Hey,
to
bro.
contact to get Heighten back, let me know. How did T-Hum manage to get verified, bro? Riot Squad seems like they got a lot of
Dude,
resources.
Riot Squad has a lot of money and resources. Yeah.
So maybe I gotta talk with T-Hum to talk with this guy to get
True.
my 5-letter app back.
True.
Like
I mean,
whenever
I saw him getting verified a while ago. He like changed his Avi to his picture, and people only do that like if they're gonna get verified or something. I don't know.
like it has to be a real picture, like my current one's like a
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like before, like you have to have like a picture of yourself to get verified, I think.
How am I a risk factor compared to T-Hum? My man T-Hum literally goes
Word,
into
what?
lobbies. T-Hum goes into lobbies and just starts cursing people out. T-Hum is the best trash talker in all of
Yeah.
esports.
Bro, T-Hum just doesn't care.
He
Like,
just-
he doesn't give a fuck.
This man
I mean,
is the most creative trash talker and the fastest and the loudest of all time. It's like, you cannot beat him in a roast off. Don't try. Just mute the mic and leave the
Bro,
lobby.
Imagine if TM was a rap battle or something. Best rap battle in the world. Just because he'll cook you on anything.
Like, it's just so. Oh, but yeah, like I need to get. So whenever you got Frosty, did they literally ask you what do you want your ad to be, and then you told them Frosty?
Me?
Yeah, whenever you got your ad.
Or
can you not speak on that?
That's
Classic.
not how I got my ad.
Oh, you did.
Nah.
Someone borrowed it.
Shout out to Elizabeth.
Someone
She
borrowed
real
it. So was the account like inactive or was it suspended?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It wasn't inactive. It was like 8 years inactive, and yeah.
Heighten is a Walmart
Next
T-Hump.
topic, right?
Yeah, next topic. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, of
All I
course you know
know,
about the old verification rules, Ace Thug. So
Yeah.
that's how you lost, Ace Thug. Rip Bozo.
Dude, I still can't believe he did that shit. That's wild as fuck.
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
I do. Oh,
Smile.
brother. Oh,
Smile.
brother. You should do one of these with Ace Thug. Hey, show your face, bro. Come on.
Bro, if he shows his face, it can be one-on-one like you and I. But if he doesn't, then I'm gonna have to get like more people to make up for the fact this man's not gonna show his face. So
Yeah.
like I want to do one with Justin, Daniel, and
Mhm.
the Paint. But
Ooh, that would.
most likely it'll just be Justin with the face cam because I would have to convince
Yeah.
Daniel to get a face cam, and Nick is not gonna face reveal no matter what. So it's like
Mhm.
that. So
Wait, hasn't he already done a face reveal?
the Paint,
Yeah.
I don't know, but not like a full on like
Wait, okay, no, never mind. I think he just like
no,
showed like close people what he looks like.
yeah,
Hmm.
but
Ace, dude, literally, you see what Ace like put in chat?
I'm not using my goddamn laptop for the cast.
What? You're literally just sitting in Discord. Like that's all I'm doing right. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just sitting in Discord.
I don't know,
Why am
bro.
I getting
It's like
question mark?
it's because
Oh, okay.
he
I
said.
just saw what Ace like, but yep. Alrighty then.
Why are you question marking me?
I thought they were question marking me for a second. I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah, but I'll definitely do like a TBE cast where it's just like fucking
Mhm.
Gil, Mercy, Ace, Icy. That'll be cancer.
Oh, that'll be
so
fun as fuck to watch.
That'd be so cancer. Y'all
That'd
got
be
any
fun.
questions for us?
What? Y'all got any questions for me or Heighten? Both of us?
TBE,
Original?
bro, shit. Tiki up, tiki up. Literally, I made the official thing timeout, and so it's so easy to find timeout gifs. So I just say they're
Wait,
tiki.
what?
Like I made our hand sign timeout because it's a T, you know,
Yeah.
and Tiki Barber Esports.
Okay.
So it's like it's so easy to find gifs of people doing timeout, and I just say that they're doing tiki up. Like, hey, bro, tiki up, baby.
That's smart as fuck. Tiki up.
Tiki up, baby.
Yeah, Drake doing timeout. Tiki up, baby.
Tiki up. Oh yeah, someone asked earlier, have you met Drake?
No.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Do you have his address?
I've met Aubrey though.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
know Drake.
Yeah,
but,
you're
you
right.
know, me and Aubrey, we're pretty close. Okay, let me stop, bro. Saying shit like that is probably gonna get me kicked from the org one day, dude. Drake's gonna actually see me like tweet some shit like that, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, this kid's gotta
Yeah,
go."
get this guy out of here.
Nah.
Oh
But
yes.
that'd be dope, dude. Meeting Drake would be like a top 5 life experience.
Mhm. Does the mob house have furniture? Nah, they said they don't have that much yet.
Nope.
It's a work in
We have
progress.
a table.
Table.
We have a big ass table, like for the mobcast room. So
Oh
that's
shit.
nice. That's pretty
Um,
much all the furniture we got.
Oh yeah, someone asked earlier, and this was actually on our list that I forgot to mention. Take on Dr. Phil's e-dating discussion.
I 100% agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go back to the time on the internet when e-dating got you bullied and shunned. I'm not advocating for
Bring
bullying,
back
which, I mean,
cyberbullying.
okay, no, not all that. But dude, look at this community and all the drama and problems and everything that's happened that's resulted from e-dating. Like we never had to deal with boyfriend girlfriend drama on the TL
Mhm.
5 years ago because anyone that got e-dated got bullied and they definitely
Bullied.
wouldn't be flaunting it on the timeline.
Like
So
when Madam Legend or Kaylee, she goes by Kaylee now, but she used to e-date a person in the UK. It was nonstop on-site cyberbullying for me until like it was nonstop. I would go into her streams and like tell her about it. I'd be like, "Why? Like, what's wrong with
dude,
you?"
I remember like Icy and Cameron, they used to get bullied nonstop for e-dating.
Yeah.
But it's like that also helps your relationship in a way because if you can get through all that bullying, then you're meant to be with each other.
Hey,
You
real
know?
shit.
Boom. Hey, so we're doing a service to these people.
Icy. Oh yeah, he said you said Icy and Cameron. Icy and whatever.
No, I
her.
didn't.
Yeah, you said Icy Cameron. Icy and
I said Icy and Karen.
Karen. There it is. Karen.
I did not say Icy and Cameron. Did I?
You might have. They have like almost the exact same name minus an M, so you're
Alright.
good. We heard.
We heard Cameron. Okay, well, fuck me.
Uh,
Never. Yeah,
it's
whatever.
like the only way e-dating could possibly work is if both of you have a good amount, or one of you has a lot of money, or both of you have a good amount of money. You can fly back and forth
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot. All right.
Yeah.
Besides that, you're literally just submitting to a long-term relationship or a long-distance relationship right away, which makes no sense. Like
It's
you're bound to fail. Like very few have succeeded. Props to the ones who succeeded in making it work.
yeah.
I'll consider you officially successful when you get married and have children. But like for the ones that are making it work right
Dude.
now, like I applaud you.
Yeah. Bro, because it's like people will e-date someone for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years before ever meeting them in real life. And
Hmm.
it's like you're committing all this time to this person when you've never met them. And
Right.
I get that you can build like really close relationships with people
Hmm.
online, but no matter how you look at it, people act different. People are different in real life than they
Right.
are online.
And
Like I'm
just
sure
like
you know this when you meet people that you've known from the internet, like they're not they're not exactly like they are online.
exactly.
That's a better way to
You
say
have
it.
to like, even though you're meeting them for the first time, you know a little bit about them. You know how like how they act at least on the internet, but you still have to like feel them like a bit, like get their
Yeah.
vibe and like how they talk and like how they treat people. Like you still have to like first impressions are still a thing when you meet for the first time.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like for example, when I saw like the mob and everything, like all you guys, and, like everyone that I met at like Fort Worth, um, like I was like, even though I know you guys, I've known you guys for years, it's like I still had to like I couldn't just be like
Yeah.
I couldn't just be like best
Yeah,
of
no,
buds with everybody because like we just met. It's like
yeah,
it
it's
takes
still
time.
like meeting someone for the first time, you
Yeah.
know? Like that's exactly what it is. And then, you got pretty comfortable quick. You drop kicked me.
Real shit.
You literally drop kicked
I
me the
was like,
first time we met. So,
hey, real shit.
yeah.
It had to be
Yo,
done. Bro,
I had it coming. You warned me, I'm not gonna lie.
I did. Everyone has been warned. So does Hyde not act like this IRL? Bro, Doc Gore will agree. Okay, look. I think you would agree like years ago, like 2014, 15, or 2015, 16, like I was a pretty like mean person. Like I would just like roast people. Like straight up, I would
Yeah.
just like anytime I got a chance, I would just jab someone. I would just be like on Twitter like that's a jab, that's a jab. Like I would just reply to everyone like
Yeah.
jabbing like jabbing them. But it's like it took some time for me to like understand why. But I like grew uh
Mhm.
and Docor would agree, like my IRL Alex, he would agree that like he can speak on the current me now and say like I'm very similar to like real life me.
Yeah.
So
I can even like say I know we haven't like when we met in real life we haven't talked that much
uh,
and we don't talk like that much right now,
mm-hmm,
but it's like you're definitely in real life compared to like online. I'd say you're pretty similar.
yeah. Like I used to be like a polar opposite person back in 2014. Like I used to be so mean on the internet, and then
Mhm.
in real life I was like super nice to everyone. It's like so
Yeah.
it was like a complete disconnect. But like now I've
Yeah.
learned just to merge both of them. So I'm good
No, yeah, I
now.
mean you've grown up. We all have in
Yeah.
our own ways. So that's not like
Yeah,
a bad thing
bro.
at all.
I did have that drop kick, or I had that drop kick list for the longest time. So I had to go off on it.
Yeah,
It's like,
I understand. I understand. What I don't understand is why I was on that list, to be honest.
bro, look. All I know is like once you cross a threshold, you
It
are added to that list, and you are not coming off.
was the
like,
Texas thing, wasn't it? It was probably a Texas thing.
bro, it was probably one of our like fucking arguments from back then. It's just
Yeah,
like this.
dude, I can't believe we spent so much time just arguing about stupid
It
shit,
was
dude.
so
I
dumb.
don't even remember the things we even argued about anymore, so it's like that's how you know it was stupid.
It's
And
like,
okay, no, I don't want to say argued because it wasn't like we were fighting or whatever, but we debated a lot on Twitter. 64
yeah.
my relax check.
Back then, I would argue just to win the argument. Now I'm like, if I can't change someone's opinion via debate, then I'm just gonna
Hmm.
drop it. Cause like that's how
Yeah,
like that's how I've matured.
that's how I am, and that's why I've kind of like stopped tweeting political stuff as much because I know that like it's the internet. You're not really gonna change anyone's
Yeah,
mind if their mind's already set.
it's extremely difficult to change someone's mind, especially when they're like not when they don't know about certain things about online arguments. Like there's something called the
Hmm.
backfire effect, Where like over the internet, if you're presented with a different argument than yours, your brain will literally manipulate it until that argument reinforces your own. So
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy what the brain does, like especially with certain things. But
dude,
like
the human mind. I wanna like when all this is done and like I guess retire from streaming and YouTube and all that or whatever. Like I'll go back to college and learn like get a psychology degree or something. Just because I've always been interested in how the human mind and how humans, the people, function, and I don't know. That's
yeah,
something I've always wanted
yeah
to
for
do.
sure. We don't even understand like consciousness. Like we still don't understand
Yeah,
consciousness. Like why do we have a conscious? Like we don't understand it. So that's still like an ongoing thing. So there's plenty of room for like us as like a civilization to understand more. Speaking
yeah.
of bit badges, Hayden, why
Hi,
are you,
Richie.
your bit badges are beautiful? Yes, thank you, Michaela, for making them. Since you want to shout yourself out, thanks. Yeah, sup, Richie? Hello.
Richie, what video are you talking about? What the fuck? I watched the mind get cut like meatloaf today on
All right,
Twitter.
you gotta unfollow that person and block them. Whoever retweeted
Uh,
that, whoever retweeted that, gotta get blocked.
I don't
I,
know who y'all are following, bro, because
yeah,
I didn't see
bro.
it on my timeline.
Hey, my timeline is squeaky clean, bro. Either you get unfollowed or you get strikes. One of them are gonna fix my timeline.
Yeah,
Real shit.
I'll bench people that retweet shit like that.
Oh heck nah. No 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 no. Delete that, bro. We don't want that. We don't want
Uh,
that. Did you click that?
wait, yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Oh, I thought it was like a from a person, from a living person.
Oh
Nah,
word.
this is kind of cool. It's like a brain getting chopped up.
But it is meatloaf, or it's not
Wait,
meatloaf.
what? No, that's like a real brain. That's a real human brain.
Oh okay. It was from a living person. Okay, very cool, Ace Thug.
Jesus Christ,
this, this man is got the magnifying glass on it.
bro.
Okay, that's not that bad. Understandable,
That's so
understandable.
weird. That's a person. Like that's where a person's consciousness was.
In that brain.
Yeah, in that brain, that is literally a person. I
Real
guess the
shit.
weirdest thing to me, like about like brains and stuff, is like we're essentially just like what we consider us is just our brain, and everything else is a flesh suit that we wear to protect our brain. But then they're just chopping up somebody's brain like that. I don't know. That's weird. That gets to me.
Interesting. That's an interesting.
Mm,
I never thought of it like that. It's like
I don't know.
everything we are is our brain. Even though I think
Yeah,
like
like
our gut has a slight like they call it like a brain. Our gut has a brain somewhat, but nothing like our.
yeah, like it's compared to like our actual brain and like some all those memories and all that shit. Do you believe in like that people have souls?
Yeah, I think everything has. I think every living thing has a soul. It's just about like the complexity of it. Like I think dogs
But
and everything have souls, but it's like they're not as like complex as ours, or it's just, like
yeah.
value wise, it's like they're lower.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
don't know.
there's a
I
value scale to it, but I do think it can be
like
like I think there might be reincarnation. I would not be completely
that's yeah,
against.
that'd be I believe in that a little bit. I don't know. Cause it's like what's
Maybe
the
like you
difference?
go up, and then like you decide if you want to come back, and then like I don't know.
Dude,
But it's like the law of conservation. I think
yeah,
conservation. It's like everything has is used somewhere. So if we have a soul, the soul has to
mm-hmm.
go somewhere. It's like
But it's like what exactly is a soul? Like is it your consciousness? Is it
I think it's your
like
being. I think it is your being. Like so when
but
you
isn't that
give,
essentially just your consciousness?
I think I mean the coal is probably directly connected to the consciousness, but
Yeah.
because like your conscious might say something's bad, but my conscious might say something's not that bad. So like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. We have to decide what goes into a soul, and like we can't even like really decide what is consciousness. So it's like once we can answer what is consciousness, then maybe we get a step closer to answering what a soul is. But there's a lot of
Yeah.
takes to what a soul is. Like there's a lot of answers to that. So because
Do you
you
believe?
can sell your soul, but you're still living. It's just you don't have a soul anymore.
Yeah, but that's essentially what that means. Like when you sell your soul, you're doing something that you know is consciously wrong.
Yeah.
But then once you do that, it's like you can't use your conscience anymore to say that like, oh, this thing is wrong because you already did it. You know,
Right.
like if you commit murder or something, that's why a lot of people believe that like when you kill someone, you don't have a soul anymore because it's like if you can kill a person, how can you use your consciousness to stop you and tell you what's right and wrong for anything else?
Like Batman thinks. My dude Batman doesn't kill people because he crosses that threshold, and he doesn't know
Yeah,
if he would
but he
ever.
just paralyzes them from the neck
Hey,
down for
real
the rest of their
shit.
lives.
Hey, but they not dead.
I
Respectable.
mean, true, true.
They can look around still. They can look.
Hmm. My
Mashed,
consciousness makes me horny. Nice.
mashed potato says your life essence. Maybe, maybe. Can we talk about how bad horny tweeting got? It's not as bad now,
Dude,
but it used to get. It was
it was so
terrible
bad.
like a
It was
month
so
ago.
bad.
It was
It's so cringy. Like none of it is funny
because
ever.
it's all ironic, but when
Yeah,
everyone's doing something ironic, you're all being unironic. Like it's
exactly.
like when everyone's doing
Exactly.
something ironically, you are now all doing it unironically. Super
It
boring.
was funny like the first couple of weeks, but now it's like everyone's trying to get a tweet blow up from that. And it's like, come on, that's so
Yeah,
corny. Like think of something new.
please.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, I'm glad that's like slowed down.
I'm fine with trends as long as like they turn over fast enough to where they don't get too stale. It's like
Yeah, yeah. Like it was funny back when it was like Daniel, because Daniel's been horny tweeting for like 3, 4 years now,
yeah.
and now everyone is just doing that shit. I don't know
You know who's the most OG horny tweeter?
who.
Twitter. Ryan underscore
Yes, Ryan
recon.
Recon. Yep, bro. I had to tweets just because. Oh my god, that's what. Bro, I can't open Twitter in public because of people like Ryan. Like it's bad. It's
Literally, this
bad.
man would nonstop just retweet horny accounts, and then every single night need a thick goth girlfriend or something like that. Like every
Bro, and
single
like
night.
it's what Ace just said. Like he would put straight. It wasn't like horny quotes. It was straight porn on the timeline.
Yes.
Like it was straight. It was straight consensual sex on the timeline. Oh, brother.
Bro, yeah, so that man has been doing that since like 2013, 14. So he's like the most OG horny person.
Yeah.
Uh, it's ridiculous. This man needs to do something. It's like he needs to get on somewhere.
Bro, does he have a girlfriend, dude? We gotta get that man a
I
girlfriend.
don't know, man.
I
Do
don't
y'all
know.
love seeing hentai on the timeline? No, I actually unfollowed a man named Sickest for posting just anime titties on the timeline.
I have his retweets off too.
He said good
Oh my
morning.
god. Yo, I'm a fucking
What are
idiot.
you opening? I can hear
Bro,
you
this
opening
paper
something.
that I've been playing with for the last like hour, it's my plane ticket for my last flight. And if I had opened it the wrong way and showed it on camera, it literally has my name and everything on here.
Oh
Fuck
my
that.
god. Yeah, bro, put that away. I can
Jesus
hear it. I can
Christ.
hear
Yeah,
it.
my bad.
Oh my god, this man
I
just
just
dropped
dropped
his
my phone
entire
again.
setup.
Oh
He
no.
just dropped
Oh
his entire
no.
setup on the ground. Did it crack
Oh,
more?
it's all good. No, it
Bro.
didn't break. Look, we're good.
Okay. I actually have a bro, I still have the iPhone 6 Plus. 6 Plus. This shit is so old.
Dude,
It's actually
yo,
so old that I can't get the iOS 13 update.
really?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, fuck.
it
No,
just
you don't
passed
want
up.
it. That shit fucked my phone up. That update fucked my phone up. Like
Damn.
it's so bad. That's the only reason I'm upgrading, not because of the cracks and shit, just because it's so slow. The battery barely lasts. Dude, what do you call it? Ava and Mako, they got the iPhone 11, and I was looking at Ava's phone, like the camera and stuff,
Hmm.
because I was considering getting the iPhone 11 for the camera because I want to do like live streams from it. But I looked at it and like the quality on it is not good. The
Really?
camera quality, yeah, like especially the front facing camera, it's not good at all. Like it looks like one of those old Android quality phones.
Damn. So he's been roasting all those Android users, but now he
No,
got
bro, like
oh, he
you
got the
like
Android.
I don't know how to say it, but like we did a side by side comparison of his iPhone 7 and the iPhone 11, and the iPhone 7 honestly looked better.
And
Like the
we're talking
picture,
about the front cam, right?
both. Like we were in this room taking pictures, and I don't know what it is, but the iPhone 11 everything like really soft. Like it makes the pictures really soft, kind of how these face cams do. Like you don't see as much detail and shit.
Mhm.
Cap, I promise I'm not. Maybe
Everyone's
there was
saying
a
cap.
setting.
Everyone's saying cap.
Yeah, maybe there was like a setting that we did wrong or whatever. Oh yeah, Ava had the 8 plus, not the 7. Sorry. Uh, like maybe it was like something in the settings, or his phone is just something wrong with it. But that shit did not look good at all. It didn't look better than the iPhone 10 camera. That's for
Interesting.
so yeah.
All I know is like the reason I still have the iPhone 6 Plus. Like I've had opportunities to get a new phone, but I think it was like 2016 when I was still in high school. Someone told me, one of my friends told me, he's like, don't upgrade until 2020 because that's when they're gonna like change the entire concept of their phone. And supposedly,
Really?
based off rumors, like the entire thing's gonna be the entire thing's gonna be a screen. Like supposedly, like that's
What?
the most recent rumor that someone told me. It's like the entire thing might be a screen. So
I don't know how I feel about that.
ever since then, I was like, okay, I'll just wait till 2020, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I'll just wait 4 more years. Doesn't matter.
Bro,
But like now that it might actually like be the next like big concept, I'm
dude.
like, bro, that man knew something. What the like? What's going
Oh,
on?
you're talking about like the front of the screen. I thought you meant like the whole phone was
No,
a
no, the
screen.
whole
Even
phone will be
that.
no, the whole phone will be a screen with the back.
Oh, yeah, no, fuck that. What?
Like supposedly, like that was the most recent rumor or something. So
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is though. Like the pictures didn't look good. Like it looked like there was a filter on them. Like it looked like there was some filter that's supposed to make you look better, but it just made the quality of the picture so much worse.
damn.
I don't know.
But all I know is like I'm updating to whatever phone comes out next year. I'm
Hmm.
getting that phone because I've been at this iPhone 6 Plus for so
Yeah,
long,
that's.
bro.
Do you not have like a plan with your like service provider that lets you
No,
upgrade for
like
free?
I've just been waiting. Like I've just been like I'll just wait. Like it's
But if you
fine.
have a free upgrade, then fucking upgrade. Why not?
I mean, it's a
You
free
know?
upgrade to the point of like you continue paying like the same amount every month or something. So
Well, yeah, but if you're already paying, I guess you're not really paying that 'cause it's probably paid off.
yeah, it's paid off.
Yeah.
Can I have your old phone when you get the new one? No, it's gonna go in some. It's gonna go. It's gonna go in some vault for memories. Like, yeah, this is the phone I had for
Damn.
like. I had this phone for like 6 years.
I'll probably give this to my little brother or something. I'm gonna repair it first, and
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, but yeah, dude, we've been at this since when did we start this shit?
2 hours and 12 minutes ago. So
It's been 2 hours.
2 hours. Get a Pixel? No,
God damn.
refuse.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro, nah. The Pixel 3, the camera on that shit's amazing. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get like the Galaxy Note 10 Plus or the 11 now that I've seen the camera. Because like the main reason I'm getting that phone is to do IRL streams. So like if the camera's not good on it, then I don't want to
it's
waste all
like
this money on it.
my vlogs at most get 480p because I have an iPhone 6 Plus. So that would be
Mhm.
like the biggest thing is like upgrading that so I can get better quality. But I mean, 480p is not freaking genuinely terrible.
Yeah.
It's just not good. How
Okay,
can you grow a mustache? Not as well as I want to. Like I can't. It's not like full. Like I can grow
yeah,
it. It'll look like Frosty's a bit, but it's like not
yeah,
as full as I want it to be.
yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna respond. Fades. I know that like the iPhone 11 has one of the best cameras on a phone right now, but all I'm saying is that when I physically used it, when I had it in my hands and tried to take pictures, like I don't think it was a hardware problem. It was definitely like a software thing, like where they're trying to do all this extra shit to like
Hmm.
make it look better, but it just ends up making it way worse. Like
Huh.
you're like people look like they're made out of Play-Doh. That's the comparison me and Ava like came up with. Like you look like you're made out of Play-Doh. Like when you take a picture with it. I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't capture like natural it doesn't capture naturally as well. Like it doesn't capture natural light as well. I
Interesting.
don't know.
Play-Doh's taste yummy. All right, bro.
Okay.
Crayons.
Mm.
Crayons. Bro, I want to make that an emote. Or I just need to add like a Franker face emote
What the
like that.
crayons?
Yeah, the crayons thing, bro. Anytime I hear something so stupid, I just say, crayons. These fools straight eating glue, bro. Eating glue.
Dude, can you eat glue? Is glue safe to eat? Because
No.
I thought that was just a joke, but there's people that actually do that shit. That they eat glue.
I mean, you can eat a
I don't even
lot
know
of
what I'm talking
things.
about.
Like, you know about that show, like My Weird Obsession or something like that?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
Weird
my strange
Addiction.
addiction. My
Yeah,
strange addiction. I love that show,
bro.
dude.
People eat the
That
most
one woman that eats
ridiculous things.
drywall, bro. Like, how do you eat drywall? That's ah.
Police,
Bro,
police.
like, there's something wrong with people, dude. Everyone's just fucked up. I
For a
don't know.
second, Ace Thug, I thought you said I'm gonna start eating grass, and I was gonna say you already eat that because you're vegan. Like you are vegan, sir. You are eating grass.
Wait, is this like actually vegan?
I don't know, bro. He says it a lot. He
I
always
don't
be
think he
talk.
is.
He always be talking about vegetarian or veganism.
Yeah. Bro, Heighten, why are we so zoomed in on your stream? I just looked over and like we're literally in there. I should probably back up.
Yeah, we are in there. Here, I can actually
Yeah.
show them.
Because I've been like this, like the whole
Yeah.
covering half my face.
Yeah, I've been
Nah, it's
backed
fine,
up. I've been
It's
backed
fine.
up.
Yeah, I'll back up a little bit.
Start
I
the
have to
milk
stay close
debate.
because like the
Oh,
what?
bro, there used to be this horrible trend in my chat where people would debate milk, because Uwuzu, who is Minecraft
I know who
Kayla
she
or
is.
Michaela. Okay, yeah, it's like she talks about one type of milk. Tater Toe talks about another type of milk. One person will talk about normal milk, and then there's just a three-way lock, and they just debate it until
Well,
nothing happens. It's just a deadlock of them having a three-way fight, and it's just terrible.
personally, I like chocolate milk,
Chocolate cow milk.
yeah, almond milk or chocolate almond milk doesn't matter. But normal cow milk, like normal milk, is disgusting.
And you're not
That
like,
shit
and
is
you're not,
so gross.
and you
No,
are
I
not
am
like.
lactose
Okay,
intolerant. I
you are.
am, but I'll still eat. Like I don't care about that. I'll
Okay,
still
okay.
eat like ice cream, cheese, all that shit. But like taste wise, and as a kid, I used to like drink 3 bottles of milk every day, like for a long time. But now that I've grown up, I just don't like milk anymore. It's so nasty. And
I
even chocolate milk, like I've kind of outgrown it a little bit.
I drink almost exclusively almond milk. Like that's what I put in my cereal. That's what I put in like recipes and stuff. But like, I don't really. I'll drink cow milk. I don't care. It's like, but it's just like I just stay with the almond milk just because like I've gotten used to the taste now.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
tastes better. Like it really does.
like I love like I actually prefer chocolate and almond milk to cow chocolate milk. Wait, what did I say?
Yeah, I agree with that. No,
Chocolate
like
almond
you
milk
prefer
to yeah.
yeah, like same,
That's
same.
it's
Like
actually
almond
really
milk is
good.
just so much better. I don't know.
I forgot how it says almond like that.
Damn,
Almond.
bro.
Wait, let me
And
say, bro.
there's a lot of misinformation about milk and shit, dude. That like
Hey,
I don't know.
everyone stay away from soy milk unless you're a girl. All right. People be drinking
Wait,
soy milk.
what
Soy.
is soy milk?
Bro, okay,
I
look.
don't understand
Okay,
what
look.
soy milk is.
Soy is a thing that produces or helps produce estrogen. We are men. We have testosterone, the exact opposite
Mm.
for estrogen. Women who are pregnant or and give birth are told to drink soy milk because it helps replenish their estrogen. You do not.
Okay.
Men should not drink soy milk unless you are trying to be a scrawny weakling who gets his ass beat by anyone who has any sort of
Oh, wow.
testosterone in your body. Like Ace Thug, this man drinks soy milk exclusively. All right, little Timmy down the street could
Does
beat
he
Ace Thug's
actually?
ass. Little
I
Timmy
mean,
down the street could beat Ace Thug's ass. Dead
yeah,
ass.
that probably explains it.
So it's like soy milk
Dude.
is for females. If you are a man and you drink soy milk, just know that anyone could bully you into the ground. You deserve to be in a locker. All right.
Oh my god.
Nah,
Do
but
not
like.
attach any association to
Uh,
Nah, dude, I just don't like milk in general. Like, just milk just isn't good to me anymore.
like, do you straight drink? Like, you don't straight drink it, do you?
No.
Okay. Like, you
Like-
just like cereal and stuff like that.
Yeah, like if it's in cereal, I'll eat it. But and like even then, like when I pick up a spoonful of cereal, like I'll make sure there's a least amount of milk in there as possible. So,
Now, what do you do with the remaining milk in the bowl?
oh no, I'll just keep filling it up with cereal until most of the milk
Oh,
is gone, and
okay.
then when it's like to the point where I can't do that anymore, I'll just like wash it off or something, throw it in the sink.
What?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and go, gulp, 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 like a
What?
dumbass, bro. Fuck that.
What?
Milk, milk is so disgusting. Dead ass.
Oh my god.
What a waste. No, like I'll fill it up with cereal until there's like a tiny amount left, where it's like realistically it would just be like a sip. You know, like I'm not throwing away whole bowls of milk and shit. No, I
Mik-
don't wait. Like I try not to waste food.
Michaela, soy milk is fine for females. Men should not drink it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Sugar is literal poison. Yes, sugar is bad.
Mm,
Sugar has gone to the point in American food where like we don't like things because it doesn't have that much sugar. Like, have you
yeah,
noticed that? Like everything's so
yeah.
sugary. And the person that actually pointed this out to me was like Dev. Like, I'm Dev on Twitter.
Hmm.
It's like he like roasted Americans for about like how sugar everything is. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. It's like everything we
Yeah.
eat has so much sugar in it. So like I went to like cereals that have like almost no sugar. Like everything I like
Hmm.
lowered my sugar intake a lot after I saw that.
Yeah. No, yeah, back when I had like a lot of acne and stuff, I cut off so much sugar from my diet that like you can tell the difference in how your body reacts when you're
Mhm.
like eating normal food, just like normal food that's made here that has so much sugar versus like food that just doesn't have any sugar, and then your body's just so much healthier.
Yeah. Even though it'll probably taste bad the first time, it's like your body will be like, "Oh wait, we don't need this sugar crutch
Yeah,
anymore."
exactly.
So,
That's why I like going to Europe a lot, because it resets your body to get used to all that. So, because
right,
it's like
take the paper in your hand and throw it behind you. Oh, what is
these are
that?
Q-tips. These are
Why,
Q-tips.
why you got cute? You just messing with cute.
I just like having something to fit.
All right, bro, get one of those.
Oh wait, is it making noise?
Yeah, it's
Fuck.
making noise.
Sorry. I didn't even think about that.
Bro,
My bad.
every time I use
Order.
Q-tips, I think of your like ear Q-tip and like obsession.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
dude.
like I'm like,
I,
bro, I'm gonna be
what
frosty.
Acer just said, motherfucker got an ear infection. Bro, I got an ear infection like 5 years ago, and ever since then, my ears like itch so much. Like they're not like dirty or anything. Like when I itch them with a Q-tip, like the Q-tip's clean when I take it out,
Uh-huh.
but it's like they just itch so much that I have to use them.
I actually talked to a doctor about this because I got an ear infection like the week before COD champs. Like
Hmm.
it was pretty terrible. But I got like an ear infection like the week before COD champs, and like when I finally went to do like the follow up appointment with them like a month later, I was like, so what do you use to clean your ears? Because it says Q-tips are just so bad.
Yeah, no, Q-tips are terrible for your ears.
And he's like, Q-tips. Like he uses Q-tips, and he's like, here's the thing. He's like, here's the thing. It's like as long as you don't go too far, and you can put
Yeah.
hydrogen peroxide on the Q-tip
Hmm. No,
to
I
like
know.
help like clean. It's like it's fine.
Yeah, no, see that's the thing. I never go like too deep. Okay, well sometimes I will, but like yeah.
Because like the thing is, when you go too deep, if there's any sort of bacteria on that
Hmm.
Q-tip, it'll actually like your body will have to
Yeah.
fight that in order for
And
you
you're
not to get
pushing
it.
like earwax into your eardrum and shit.
Right.
And honestly, I've started to like my hearing isn't as good as it used to be, and I honestly think that's why. Like I need to go to a doctor and get it professionally cleaned. What they
Yeah.
do is they'll fill like one of those like squirt bottles, those spray bottles, like the Windex ones.
Hmm.
They'll fill that up with like a mixture of water and hydrogen peroxide, and they'll literally just spray that shit in your ear, and it just like it power cleans everything in there.
Word.
It's nice.
I was
It's painful. It's super painful, but you feel nice
I,
afterwards.
I was like waiting, or like I asked the doctor, I'm like, so can I get this ear that I just had an ear? Because he said like there was dried puss from the ear infection, like my body fighting it, and there was
Mhm.
like that was like he's like there's that and there's like a little bit of earwax, but that's it. I'm like so
Yeah.
can I get this? I was like so can I get this professionally cleaned? He's like, actually you probably don't want to because your body's already like expelled the threat, and it'll just naturally get rid of all the stuff that's in your ear.
Yeah.
It's like the only time you
Yeah.
really need it cleaned is when you know like you're losing hearing or you know something's back there that you need
Mm-hmm.
gone, but like first you need to get like the heads up or like thumbs up from us because
Yeah.
he said like
Yeah.
doing that can actually cause infection. Like
Yeah.
there's actually like a
Dude,
slight chance you get an infection because of the cleaning.
dude,
So
I haven't gone to a doctor in like 5 years. Like it's bad. I
uh,
really need to
yeah,
go.
you should definitely go to a doctor. I go to it like twice a year, I think. Like
Yeah.
one for my physical, and then one because I get sick once a year now. So it's like I'll
Mm-hmm.
go for that when I get sick. That's about it.
I just like haven't gotten like checked up, like my body checked up for anything in such a long time, and it's like that's so bad.
Hmm.
I'm scared to go. Yeah, I'm scared to go to the doctors too. It's like there's so much. I don't know. You like this person just you have to tell them everything about like your body and shit and what's wrong with you, and I don't know. I don't know.
And they help you, and they help you with the information
Yeah,
you
but it's
give
like
them.
such a hassle, and then it's also like the paperwork and hospitals. Just I don't like hospitals, and I don't know.
So there's two questions. Fishy asked how your grandma's doing or the progress of the construction.
Yeah,
Also,
I
your
mean my grand
webcam's flickering a little bit. I don't
is
know.
it?
Yeah,
I have no idea what that could be for. Is
I
it
don't
still
know.
doing it?
No, it's not doing it right now, but it like was. So I just wanted to, in case like you
Let me
have any
know.
idea.
All right, let me know if it keeps doing it. I'll try, like leave the call and jump back. Or something.
It just did it.
It just did it.
Yeah, I was doing it again.
Fuck. Wait. I think it does it whenever like I. No. Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave the. Okay, let me turn it off.
Okay. The webcam is blinking. Morse code. Morse code. All
Is
right,
it good now?
I'll tell you if it does it. But what were you talking
Fuck.
about? Grandma's progress.
Oh yeah, my grandma right now in America. She came over here. That's why, not like to stay, but just to visit. That's why I was over there for so
Mhm.
long. But yeah, like her house situation, all that's fixed. It's done with. My parents were there last summer, or yeah, this summer, and they like took care of all that. And that's the biggest problem with like what happened with that. It's like I raised a good amount of money. Like we raised a good amount of money for it, but it's hard to trust anyone over there with that type of money.
Mhm.
Just because, like, $5,000 over there, that's more than people make in like a year or something, you know?
Gotcha.
So it's like I don't know.
I
But
get what
yeah.
you're saying.
But now it's all good. Like she's taken care of. Everyone's, happy. We're all good.
That's
Yeah.
good. Skills 10 Mills asked, do you guys really think we only have 12 years to like change the condition of the like how we treat the environment, everything, global warming and all that? Um, yeah. He said, do we only have 12 years before what we do is irreversible, basically? Like, so do you buy into like all the hysteria and
I
like
don't
hype?
I don't know if I buy into that exactly, but I know that if we keep going at the same rate we are, or possibly even worse, that like we won't be able to come back from that. I don't know if it's like 12 years, but
Because like they've been saying
eventually it'll get to that point.
like that headline of 12 years was said back in like
Yeah.
like
No,
what's
yeah.
his name
Because it's like,
fucking they say it all the time like they've been
yeah,
wrong for like 80 times or
but
something like that.
the reason they say stuff like that is that how else are these scientists supposed to make these like politicians and the masses like care about the environment when caring about the environment would kind of interrupt a lot of the things that they do in their day-to-day
Yeah,
lives, and for the politicians and stuff it would mean less money in their pockets. So you can't really talk about it rationally in a place like that. So you kind of have to go to extremes to try to get people to be proactive about it.
I get you. Um, and the crazy thing is like I think it's the majority of the world. Like take the entire world, the majority of all pollution and like all the effects that
Hmm.
negative effects that we're trying to combat comes from China,
Yeah,
who
it does.
who
It
by the
does.
way is not in any sort of deal with the world to limit this stuff. Like they
Exactly.
were not in the Paris Accord climate change deal. Like even though the US has backed out of it, but like China was never in it to begin with. So it's
Hmm.
like the thing is like we could all we could all like change everything
Yeah,
that we do.
that's why. Sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're
like
good.
here in LA, there's no plastic straws anywhere. Like people all use these like wooden, metal bullshit straws, and it's like, do you really think you're helping the environment? Because a lot of the shit that's hurting the environment isn't you throwing your straw in the street. It's these massive corporations in China pumping out all this toxic gas and chemicals and shit into the oceans, into the air, everything. It's
Yeah,
like, w-
it's like
you know,
it's like the most of the pollution is coming from like let's say like a dozen of the biggest companies in the entire world. It's like instead of sanctioning and like nations joining these big deals, it's like nations just need to hold these companies that live and
exactly.
are hosted
Yes,
in their nations
yes.
accountable. It's like let's
Our
say
politicians, our presidents, and governments and shit gotta hold these companies responsible,
yeah, it's like
and but they don't because
start with the big
they
fish.
run their campaigns.
It's
You
like
know.
once you start with the big fish and take care of the big ones, then like the rest is chump change because it's easy
Yeah.
to like electric cars. All you have to do is put more incentives on having an electric car. don't
Exactly.
don't hurt people who do not have an electric car. Just give incentives for the people that do.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
what they do in Norway, and like most of the population drives electric cars. I think it's like 80% of the population drives electric cars
mhm.
because they get so many tax breaks and everything that it literally becomes way cheaper to get an electric car than it does to get like a normal gas powered car.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so
I mean, we
I
dude,
don't I don't buy into like the huge hype of like we need to fix it now. It's like riot in the streets, protest every day, like do all this stuff.
hmm
I do think something needs to be done, but first we have to dissect the legitimate problem, what
yeah,
the actual problem is, create a solution plan, and then go about it that way.
yeah.
Right
No,
now,
first,
right now all I'm hearing is like, nah, do something, do something, do something. Like, we need to do it now, now, now. I'm like,
but it's
what are
like
we
do
doing?
what?
Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Now,
So.
first, what we need is politicians that will actually give a shit and try to do something. You know, because if the politicians don't care, then how are we gonna force Apple to not do shit like that? We
Mhm.
can't. Like, we don't have any power in that. But yeah,
Yeah, it's like all this screaming and stuff, saying like we want immediate change. It's like
yeah,
you can never achieve immediate change. You could go shut down those plants right now. The thing is like whatever they pumped out a year ago is still going to haunt the earth
hmm
for the next 100 years.
yeah,
It's like
exactly, dude.
it takes
But
time
it's
for
like,
genuine change to occur. But yes, you need the people in place to achieve that change.
yeah, dude, it's what Skills said. Like, at the end of the day, the Earth itself will be just fine. Like, life on Earth, there's so much life on Earth that it'll be fine. It's us who are gonna get fucked
Hmm.
over and die off.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
then we'll go through
you
the
see,
evolution again. We'll just
yeah, no, pretty
a
much,
fish will
yeah.
just
Because
walk on the earth again, and then we're good.
dude, that's what makes me believe that like we're not the first intelligent life on Earth. Because like we've seen the way that we fucked up the Earth because we're too smart for our own good. So I imagine that there was probably another species or something before us, or maybe on a different planet or whatever, that they just got too smart for their own good and they fucked up and then they had to move to a different planet or some shit like that. And honestly, if you look at it, that's kind of where we're headed now. Like instead of these companies trying to clean up the earth, they're trying to find ways where we can live on another planet. Like Elon Musk, I saw this video or whatever that talked like that brought up this like really good fact where it's like Elon Musk companies. He has an electric company, a company that's building like underground rail systems,
Hmm.
and what do you call it? Like
SpaceX.
just all, yeah, SpaceX and shit. So it's like he takes all that to Mars or whatever, uses all the like solar technology they have to get power and electricity, and then I saw an image, I can't find it, but it was like where they built these like bubbles, these inhabitable bubbles, and then they used the underground technology to dig tunnels between all the different life habitat bubble thingies. I don't know, I thought that was cool.
Huh.
I can't really I don't know where I saw it. It was like a YouTube.
And that would be on the moon or something?
Yeah, like the moon or Mars or whatever. Yeah,
Interesting. Elon Musk goes
I don't know.
crazy.
He
Speaking
does.
of
He
Elon
does.
Musk in space, Did you see Hudson's working with NASA?
Yeah, that's so cool. He told
That
me
is
about
super
that a
neat.
while ago. But, like, I didn't really understand what it meant, but like that's so fucking dope.
Yeah, bro,
Dude, I love
it's
Hudson.
actually
Like seeing
insane.
him do all this stuff is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. My university is actually like astronauts used to, or astronauts still do. They would go to my university to like continue their education. So like NASA and my college have a very like strong relationship.
Yeah.
Like if NASA says like, hey, we want this institution, my college is like, okay, done. Like this institution's created.
Really?
Yeah, like that.
Wow.
So it's like it's actually to the
Damn.
point where like my former colleague is now a full-time contractor for NASA because NASA is like the biggest
Dude,
contracting.
that's
Like NASA contracts a lot of things. I think they're the
yeah.
number one like contractor employer of the U.S.
Really?
So it's like he actually like my professor hooked him up with a NASA like
Dude,
contracting
that's actually
job,
dope as fuck. Like what?
and like actually had a professor
That's
like my former director has worked with NASA. Some of my teachers have worked with NASA. I had a former professor who like he retired from NASA, and my college was like, "Would you want to teach?" And he's like, "Sure." He's like, "All right, you can teach whatever." And they said, "All right, you can teach whatever you want." So we ended up teaching like leadership, like management class. So it's like
yeah.
that's how like close a
Dude,
relationship is. So I'm like, bro, it's pretty
like
crazy.
that's actually fucking wild. What? So
Like,
you could be working at NASA one day.
yeah, and then I actually know a guy.
Bro.
I actually know a guy. His name's Josh. He used to work with SpaceX down in El Paso, and
Mhm.
he's like, yeah, if you ever need like, if you ever want to like try out SpaceX, she's like, I know recruiters, just like let me know. So
Dude,
I'm like, bro, this
imagine
like
Hyden being
this,
the first man on Mars, bro. That'd be wild as fuck.
bro, it's just like it's freaking crazy. So like I'm super like excited for like for Hudson, like with
Mhm.
that in mind, and like
No, yeah, Hudson is. I've always known Hudson was gonna be like a super successful person and do great things like later on in life. I don't know. He's a good person. He deserves it.
what is he contract for NASA? He does something. He uses I think not I think C. He uses C. He told me about. I forgot. It was like a year ago. So I just
Yeah,
forgot. He just does like some coding crap. Yeah, Hudson is the nicest person.
dude.
I would
I need to
fall
get a
asleep and
haircut, bro.
crash.
I look
Bro,
homeless.
I got a
Look at how
haircut.
thin my hair is.
I got a haircut Wednesday. So I'm
Literally,
nice.
my my longest hair goes down to my lips. That's crazy.
Bro, my hair's only gone like, the longest my hair's gone up here is down to my eyebrow. That's legit the longest it's ever
Really,
gone.
bro?
Yes.
I get a haircut like maybe once feeling it.
One
So
say again?
I get a haircut like maybe once a year if I'm feeling it or something.
God damn.
Yeah, no, I know.
Bro, I get it like
I
once
know.
every like 1 or 2 months. I think like
I
two
just like
months.
having long hair and knees and stuff, so like I can let it grow out without it looking like too bad.
No, I can't do that. Mine gets super curly. Like I have wavy hair to begin with,
Mhm.
and like once it gets to a certain point, it just I can't
Yeah.
handle it.
I mean, like my hair kind of looks like a mess right now. Like I literally just got out of the shower 3 minutes before we were supposed to be on here. Because oh yeah, what had happened with this is that Heighton told me it was at 8 p.m. and I assumed it was 8 p.m. my time, piss time, but it was actually sorry 8 p.m. Central Time. So by the time he was like, "Yeah, this thing is in like 45 minutes," I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta get ready." I took a shower, did everything, and yeah, but I made it on
Nice.
time. We're good. We're good.
Long
That's one
curly
thing I've
hair
been
is the
trying to work
best.
on.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I could do long curly hair. I mean, if there was a
Nah, that
time,
would look that would actually look really good.
if there was a time for long curly hair, it would definitely be now since I'm unemployed. So yeah,
See, I don't think
Frosty,
I'm gonna get my hair cut. I think I'm just gonna get it like trimmed and like fixed up a little bit
bro,
so it doesn't look
just like
as
put the hair back, just to go
no, yeah, that's
crazy.
that's what I do. Like that's what I do, but it's like not trimmed on the sides or the back. So when I do that, it kind of looks weird. It looks like I have a mullet.
Show us the
Mhm.
Mazda hairline. Or was it?
Bro,
Is it Mazda? Yeah, I think it's
it's a
Mazda.
wisdom peak hairline, bro. There's nothing wrong with my hairline. Fuck y'all. That just means I'm smart. That's where I get all my knowledge from.
Real
Wisdom
shit.
peak.
Yeah, bro. I told someone that, like I was waiting for I was waiting for you to get out the shower, and they were like, "Oh, Frosty's like monthly shower. Let's go."
Hey, I took my monthly stream, boys.
Real
So
shit.
you know, hey, you're welcome, Hayden. I got you.
Yeah, real
I
shit.
got you.
All right. Are there any closing questions because we've been going at it for a hot minute.
Yeah, dude, this is like the longest podcast I've ever seen. I've never seen these go. This is like a Joe Rogan type podcast, two
Well,
and a half
I just
hours.
go until like
Yeah,
naturally go, but obviously like we can't make it like a
mhm,
million hours. So,
yeah.
any last
Dude,
questions?
I haven't
Because
eaten anything all day. I'm ordering food right now.
who's got the longest schlong in the mob house? All right, bro.
Great closing questions these are.
Do you have an answer though?
I really don't. I'm sorry.
How many of your girlfriends went to LA with you?
I only took 3 of them,
Mhm.
but then when I got to LA, I realized how busy I was. So right now, I'm just kind of taking a break. I broke up with like all 12 of them. So I'm just kind of taking it slow.
Real shit.
You feel me? Taking some time off. I'm in the off season right now.
How's it like been living in LA? So how is the LA life?
It's fast, like really fast paced. It's really nice weather. Like the weather's amazing every single day. I've been here for over 2 months and it hasn't rained once. Not one time. Yeah, and there's a fire like 20 minutes away from me right now, just burning the shit out of everything. So that's nice.
But y'all got an
Um,
ocean right next door, so y'all good, right? Y'all
yeah,
need-
we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
see, yeah, they're good.
That's actually smart. Yo.
Just move the water somewhere else.
No, dead ass. Like just take the water and pour it on the fire.
200 IQ,
Boom.
dude, 2,000 IQ.
Oh, brother.
Someone said,
Ask
I'm not gonna answer that.
what?
Something about how does Classy know you're circumcised?
What?
That was the question. How does Classy know you're circumcised?
What does that even mean?
Do you know what circumcision is?
No, I know
Oh,
what it
okay,
is.
okay,
but, like,
okay,
What is Classy even? How do you know
okay.
what Classy knows about me? What?
He said, "Don't ask how or why I asked."
Anyways,
All right, my closing question, and this will be the last question. This is a would you rather question. So you might remember this from like forever ago when I asked it.
Mhm.
So 3 options to die from. So 3 choices of death.
Oh shit.
So the first one is death by fire. So literally you burn to death. So the reasoning behind this one is it is physically the worst possible pain the human body can feel is
Yeah.
burning to death. So no greater pain. Second option, death by ants. So back in the Aztec era, like when they used to, were a crazy tribe and everything, huge. If you like betrayed them or something, they would tie you to a stake and literally just. This was back when
Fire ants on you.
This was back when ant mounds were 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So they would
No,
just
I've heard of this.
they would
I've heard of
just
this.
stick you in an ant mound, and you'd be eaten alive.
When I was like studying the Aztecs and shit, they would like put people in the ground, like bury them until they're like neck deep, and then just let fire ants go crazy on them.
Yep.
Like pour thousands of fire ants on them.
And then the
What's the third one?
The third option is death by bamboo. So how this works is back in World War II, supposedly the Japanese cut bamboo,
Mhm.
cut a layer of bamboo, tied the person up, made them lay on it, and the bamboo would literally grow through you. So 3 choices. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to choose fire because I feel like it's the most painful, but it's also the fastest, dude.
Yeah.
Having bamboo grow through you, that's gotta take like days or weeks or some shit.
Oh no, it'll take hours because bamboo grows extremely fast.
That I know it grows fast, but that fast?
Yeah, the tip of bamboo is very soft but very strong. And
Jeez.
bamboo is considered a predatory species because it can take over any garden you plant it in. Any garden, you plant bamboo in it, that garden is now a bamboo garden. It will destroy anything else.
Well, I will not be planting any bamboo in my garden. That's for sure. Yeah, I choose fire, dude.
Okay.
It's like that feels like the fastest way, and it's also like if your nerve endings and shit get burnt off, then it doesn't really hurt that much.
Yeah.
So
The reason, okay, I choose fire, but my reasoning is a little different. It's because it's the most painful way to go out. So I'm like, I want to, like, if I'm gonna die, I'd rather like experience the best way, or not the best way, but like the human body pushed to like its limit, I guess.
yeah, I
Like,
get
yeah.
I get where you're coming from. I know.
Like,
Nah, No, because it's like, guys, if you're gonna die, you might as well get to experience like
The worst
the
possible
worst
pain.
possible pain that a human can possibly feel.
Yeah.
You know, because that way at least you learn something.
Yeah. So like, you go into the afterlife knowing like the worst possible pain. You can flex that.
Yeah, true.
All right. So this has been episode 3 of the How Is This a Podcast. Thank you, Frosty, for coming on. This has been,
Thank you for
bro.
having
This
me
is
on.
as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like it lived up to
Nah, yeah,
everything.
like this was
really
so. I'm
nice.
so glad we did this. Like we got to do another one like later.
Yeah,
'Cause this was fun as fuck to
1000%.
do. Yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming out. YouTube. We'll see you fudge you later. Bye bye.